What's going on, everybody?
Hi.
Welcome to We Got Questions. I'm Yoni, your co-host, Mr. Hennessy, and I'm joined with la la la. La.
Basic.
Yep, as always, basic. But today we got a nice fun topic for you guys. We are talking about having relationships with people
Children.
that have children.
Yes. Or dating yourself when you have children.
Yeah. You
Either
personally,
one.
the people who have children. So
Yes.
this would be fun, a nice little topic to talk about. But I feel like I want to get some sponsors. I don't know why. Let's get some sponsors. It's always
We
fun to like
should.
start it off with some sponsors and stuff like that. Like sponsored
We
by the person that's
should.
giving us pizza for free. But no, I'm just playing.
We need to
uh,
find them.
right. But everybody's coming in.
Hello.
Just yeah,
Hello.
everybody that is coming in and joining up. Make sure that y'all like us. Make sure y'all subscribe to us. Make sure
Share.
that y'all following us and sharing it out to the masses. It's across your bottom of your screen right there. We are on Twitter too. We're trying to get that up a little bit so we can start having fun on that side too.
Mhm.
But make sure that y'all are doing everything y'all can to come on to see us and listen to us talk our stuff and have fun with us. So,
Right.
all right. So before we start this, I had a question that was asked to me
Okay.
by Blue Rain, Cynthia Blue Rain.
Okay.
Um, he said, and I'm gonna see what you think it is. Um, it has nothing to do with the topic either. It just says
Oh,
I might as well just ice break it real quick
okay. Let's go.
with a
Let's go.
crazy ass question. So she said, what was the weirdest or craziest sexual thing that you did that made you break up with somebody?
That I did that made me break up with someone.
Yeah, that they did.
Oh, that they did.
Yeah,
Oh, I think I
yeah.
told y'all about the role play situation that somebody had me do that was really weird
Mm-hmm.
because like okay, so I already told you that I don't really do the whole role play thing, right? Like I don't like to have to think
Mm-hmm.
about lines in the script. But he asked me to say he asked me to pretend like he wanted me to be the mommy and he would be the baby. And I was like, hard pass.
That made you end the relationship.
It just made me like I was like, because I can't keep like I can't do he can't ask me to do this again. Like I can't first of all, I didn't even know like I didn't say anything because I didn't even know what was the appropriate thing to say. It all felt so
Mm-hmm.
inappropriate, right? And then
Right.
I was like, if he should ask me this again, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But it legitimately was just like, this probably isn't gonna work.
I mean, ain't nothing. You could have tried it one more time, you know.
No, I couldn't have.
No, she could have. Look, it's so free throw. Look at that. Oh, so everyone that's doing it, we have a rare appearance today. So free throw has stopped by to say hi to Basic for a little
Right.
bit.
He had to leap past this for a second.
He's basically doing all her setup and stuff over there. He getting ready for something over there.
Yeah. He's in the process of setting up his whole Twitch stuff. So
there you go.
but yeah,
Hey, look.
That was definitely that's probably the weirdest thing anybody's ever asked me to do. And it literally made me like question everything. I was just like, this probably isn't going to work. Because it was just like, first of all, I told y'all I have a mental block because sometimes I can't. If you're asking me to say lines, which he was like, he was saying things and he wanted me to respond, and in my mind, like I wasn't prepared for it anyway, so I didn't know how to respond.
Okay.
Is that you? I didn't know how to respond, and then like the whole scenario that he gave me was weird. I just wasn't. I didn't want to be the mommy.
Yeah, that's just that's
What
weird.
I mean?
That is kind of weird. I ain't gonna lie to you.
And he was full in character. Like he pretended he talked in a baby voice. Mike, this man probably was like 6'3", like 290. He did the baby voice and everything. Mike.
I don't know what to say.
Mike, I don't even know. I can't even.
He's like, when?
Mike, it was the idiot. He did the mummy, all of that. I was like, we have got this. Cannot happen. I can't do this. I couldn't.
Some fetishes aren't meant to be.
No, it just and that was my first and last experience with the whole role play thing. I think that
turned you off from it.
It's traumatizing. I couldn't do it. I'm sorry.
All right, so anybody who was watching, if y'all can in the comments or whatever the case is, share just like a fun sexual weird experience that you had.
I hope it wasn't as traumatizing as mine.
It's traumatizing. Listen.
What about yours, Mike? You haven't answered. What was yours?
Somebody overrated themselves.
Oh,
like they made it seem like they shit was just like, you know, I got the
that happens all the time. That's a common thing. Like people always like inflate. I feel like.
Yeah, she overrated him. I mean,
was it really super disappointing? So. Hey, Mel. Super disappointing though. Were you just
What's
like,
up, Mel?
Ugh.
I need a story, Mel. Some crazy wild.
I know Mel got a story.
Oh yeah, I know she got a story.
Mel, was it really disappointing? Like,
Steph, what's going on, Steph?
Thank you. Was it bad? Hey.
Was it bad? Yeah, it was that bad. It was that bad. It was more or less like when you was done, you kind of just like.
Oh no.
It was like you overrated that, John. Like I didn't say anything. I'm not disrespectful, so I was like, oh, okay.
So Mel, we're talking about. Mike said someone asked him, and so he posed the question to me, and now he just gave his answer to tell if there was ever a sexual experience that we had that was so horrible it made us end a relationship. I told my story. I was with a guy and he wanted to role play, but I wasn't prepared. And two, and you know how I feel about role play, but this is the reason why I feel this way. This is the instance that made me feel this way. We were playing mommy's son, and he was like 6'3", 290, did the whole baby voice and everything, and I didn't even know how to. I was so taken off, like, yeah, traumatizing.
Yeah, so now if you can, you share a story inside the chat. We know that. Listen, I ain't got $40 or $50 for you today to get you to come up here. So
right. Oh no.
I'm playing, Mel. I'm playing.
It was a oh no situation. It was like, what do you want me to do again?
Yeah. You start crying and weighing and stuff. I'm gonna be like, nah, bro.
He did the wham. He did the baby voice. He was so into it. Yeah, and that's why I can't like even think about when people ask like, is it something I would do? I'm like, no, it isn't, because I can't.
Yeah.
But that's the situation that made me feel that way.
Okay, so while everybody can, what?
She said she can come up. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I give me a second, Mel. I'll send you the thing.
Yeah, you're gonna send it to you, Mel. So while we're here, we all talking about that. We want to wait for Mel to come through. But everyone who is coming in, today's topic is about being in relationships, dating yourself, and dating others that has children. What is that like? And we're not just talking about just like the serious stuff about it. We're gonna talk about the fun stuff about it.
I'm glad y'all have some fun stories because I don't.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't have any like traumatizing stories, but I don't have any fun things that happen.
Okay.
I mean, when we get into it, I'll talk about my dating experience. Was just like I didn't date much at all.
Okay.
Because of the fact that I just felt like there were some restrictions. I mean, I put my own personal restrictions. Not that anybody else put restrictions on me, but I just had like certain things that I didn't want to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? While being a single mom.
Right.
You know?
And it's hard to be a single mom and date at the same time. It's
Right.
hard to be a single father and date sometimes. Like,
Absolutely.
yeah. So you know what? And let me kick it off before Mel come right
Okay.
up in here. Mel,
Mhm.
are we going to get a camera presence or are we going to get a blank screen? That's the part. I got a feeling a blank screen is coming through. You can turn on the red lights and everything and prepare somebody for you because you know you're gonna go live later, with the red
He was
lights and
like,
stuff.
you can do
So
the red light special if you want to.
yes, do the red light special. But so um, damn, I'm losing my point. I gotta hurry up and get back to it. Um, oh, when it comes to men and having one of the hardest things was when my daughter was younger
Uh-huh.
and trying to date somebody. I kept running into women that didn't have children.
That's one of the questions that I had. Like, for me personally,
Hmm.
when Lola was younger, um, I got to a point where I stopped dating men who didn't have children
Hmm.
because I was running out. So I had Lola in my 20s, my mid 20s, and men around my age at that time, a lot of guys don't have kids at the time, and they just didn't understand. I was like, I can't be up on you 24/7. You know what I mean? Like, I have a child, I have a daughter. Their thing would be
Uh-oh.
immediately,
You have been
their
blessed.
thing immediately would be like, do you have somebody that can watch her? Or be upset because I wouldn't just leave and come see them. Like, and I felt like it was so crazy that they couldn't understand that I was like, I don't want to leave the house and her wake up in the middle of the night and I'm not here and I'm just at some random's house. Like, I don't even know if I like you well enough to want to come to your house. Like, you know what I mean? But I had that was a major thing. Like, guys they were just like, they couldn't understand you putting your child first.
So,
Right?
Mark,
They said, turn the camera on.
Who said that?
Marcus.
Mind your business.
But yeah, I had to stop dating guys. For a while. I stopped dating guys that didn't have children because I felt like men with children understood, like, the time and the priority that you put on your kids.
Can I add something to
they
that?
don't.
Okay. Before she go in, because I'm about to change her answer. Hopefully, it's men that take care of their children that will
Ooh,
understand.
you got it. You got a point.
Now, I'm not saying that the ones who don't take care of them don't understand, because they do understand. They just
Well,
understand they not gonna take care of their kid, but they'll take care of somebody else's
well,
Right.
because they might not like the baby mama.
take care. I think the ones who live with their children understand.
Yeah.
That
True.
too. Well, no, because I don't fully live with my daughter, and I have a vast understanding for dating someone with a child. Like, I know the difficulties of it. I know what it's like to raise my daughter when she was really young, changing the diapers and being there 24/7. The dad that's all she knew at one point was me.
Right.
So I'm going to just say that as a single mom, it's especially difficult when the other parent is absent. My village is small. My son has special needs. If I'm stepping out, it's gotta
Be worth it.
be worth it.
I get it. Listen,
Mhm.
so Lola's father was never in her life, but my parents, I did at the time when I was younger, I lived with my parents. But there was also this thing about, even though I had them there and I did have someone that could watch her, I also felt like that wasn't their responsibility. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So yes, I could have left the house if I wanted to, but it was not their job to raise my kid.
Mhm.
So I didn't. I just felt like that was important to me. Like, to me, it was very important that I be present, and I didn't want that to be a story that she told later on that, I wake up in the middle of my home, just be gone. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want that to be the narrative of me. Like, if she needed me, I wanted to be there. I was all in. And I was taking care of my kid, and I knew when I decided to have her, knowing that her father may not be around. I didn't realize that he was, like, never going to be around, but I knew when I made that decision that I was making a sacrifice for a lot of things, and that was one of them. And so to me, there were just certain things that were no-go. Like, first of all, I felt a way about any man asking any woman, child or not, to leave the house past. Like, you call me at 11, you want me to leave my house at 11? No. One, like, first of all, the fact that you want me to leave my house, now you haven't planned a date, you just call me and you want me to come lay up under you at 11 o'clock at night. Absolutely not. And then also, like, it's the middle. No, I'm not leaving my house and my child this late to come lay up with you. And then there were actually people who felt like I wasn't putting them as a priority. When did you think that you would come priority over my child? Like, you don't get the most time. That's not a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know.
I'll read what Stephanie wrote.
What you want to say, Mel? I feel like you got something to say.
I do. I think it's very important as a single mom to have your me time.
I did not.
I think it's very important to have that release from your children.
All good.
Mm-hmm.
I know it is for me. Like, so
right.
I'm like the opposite. Like, I don't have a huge village,
mm-hmm.
but if somebody was like, hey, I'll take your girls, man, I was gone.
Yeah.
I'm the meme they talk about when the single mom gave free and she in the street.
Right.
That's to me. I'm like, oh, I'm out of here.
and here's the crazy part. Like, I don't judge it. I think a lot of mine came from guilt. I think I felt, and still do to some extent, but especially then, I felt a lot of guilt for the situation, right? And I think part of the way that I handled that guilt of not being able to provide her with the full family.
One of the rich girls in the building. Go ahead.
Not one of the rich girls, or not being able, to give her the full family life, or not have, her father in her life. I think I felt a lot of guilt because of that, and so I've made a lot of choices that didn't allow me certain freedoms, and a lot of it was because of I felt like I had to give up certain. Now I don't regret it, but I will say this: at this age right now, I do know there's a lot of things that I never experienced. Like, I did not have relationships like other people had. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think I didn't really get to know people well enough, or got close to people enough. I didn't have I've never had a live-in boyfriend. I've never lived with another person. Like, oh my gosh, you said it's overrated. But I mean, I'm just saying, like, those are the things that I've never done before. But when you meet other people that are my age, you would think you at least had one experience like that. I did not. Just because I didn't make time for those kinds of things in my life because I was so focused on parenting. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't say that that's the way that it should be for everybody. That was just my route. That's just the route that I took. Right. I used to go every once in a while. I'd go on a trip with my sister or my best friend, and we'd go out of town. And like, out of town would be like Atlanta. And I remember feeling so bad and so guilty when I left the house. And I didn't even do anything. Like, I didn't go anywhere to begin with. But whenever I would get a night out, and not to say that I didn't go out every once in a while, but every time I would get a night out, like, I felt bad because I put a lot of pressure on me and what I wanted to give her. You know what I mean?
I wanted to say something about that too.
What's that?
No, just like, oh, hold on. We got one of the OG, triple OGs in here.
Right. I probably did.
Got Rachel, Milan, Stephanie. She's coming more and more. Everybody, and Mel, of course. She shows up every now and then. I'll play. I promise.
Not too much on me.
I'm not playing. Hold on. I had one long-term boyfriend since my divorce, and he loved my baby. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what I find not difficult, but it's like, I guess from when you see it, because my mom was one of the moms. She had 5 children plus stepchildren and other things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stop it, Mel. Anyway, but my mom was a very young at heart woman, so it was like she always had a dude in her face. Almost every man that was with her wanted to marry my mom because she was that thorough.
Yeah.
So, my mom used to go out. My older brother would watch us. We probably was 12, 11, 12. And we couldn't wait till my mom left the house, just like she couldn't wait to leave. She knew she had honestly, she knew she had Dwayne's kids because she had a lot of damn kids. So it wasn't like she could just go take us to somebody's house.
Right.
You know, like he just basically just went out. She was like, listen, your older brother's in charge. Y'all do this, I'm whooping y'all ass. That's just why I went. Excuse me. She knew damn well it was gonna trash her house. So get to a point. Looking at my mom do that, I guess for me growing up, I was very like, I was one of them guys that was like, yo, why don't y'all go out and have some fun and do stuff? But then because I've never understood it. Plus, I'm a man, you know, I know how would I understand how a woman really feels when it comes to that? Like, and especially I wasn't a father yet. So I always thought like y'all should be going out and having fun too. Like, go ahead and go out and have fun and let the grandma watch it. Let this until I had my own child. Then it was like it was something that was holding me from wanting to go have fun. You know how hard it is now still to me? Like I just went somewhere last week. I hung out with my brother, not my brother. My mom hung out with my cousin last week for his birthday. And my daughter was like, Dad, I wanna hang out with you. And I'm like, I'll be right back, kid. I promise we go through. And it was like, it just was, even though it wasn't, I'm used to it now. It just like I could have hung out with her, like and did that, but it's like that guilt kicked in strong. The whole time I was with my cousin, I'm like, yo, I feel like I gotta leave. He's like, no, I might only get to see you once a year and all this. I'm like, all right, you're right. So it was like I can see where y'all get that feeling at now.
Yeah.
But and I would have shut your ass up, Marcus. I knew something was coming.
Right.
I mean, but let me not say, I'm not saying I never went anywhere. Like I went to I might go to a club every once in a while in my hometown. But when it came to like shut up, Belle. When it came to like traveling, nope, didn't do any traveling. Lola will tell you now, like we both consider this point in my life a transitional period because she sees it as a time that I will get to do things that I haven't done because I've been momming, for 18 years. And not to say that I never went anywhere and did anything, but I know there's a lot of things that I have not done and that a lot of places that I have not gone. And I think, it just had a lot to do with, I mean, I can't even lie. It had a lot to do with the guilt. Then it became a pattern. You know what I mean? It became a pattern. It became a thing that was just like in here. And I didn't even know how to not like hyper focus on parenting. You know what I mean? I used to do the same thing. I lived in Southwest Georgia. When I came to Atlanta, you talking about struggle? It was 3 hours up the road. I felt bad for driving 3 hours up the road to have a weekend with my friends.
Completely understood, Rich. Completely understood. No, but I understand you too. You feel guilty about just having fun. Just trying to be what you used to be before they got here.
Yeah.
It's almost like that, like
I don't even know who that person was.
Yeah, you literally, like, sometimes you think back and you just want to have a conversation like, yeah, you ain't had to go out. But I'm only saying that because I got a kid now. So it was like, I'm all responsible and shit. So your life changes, mentally change, all these changes start happening. So it's like, I get it. Like I said, I get why y'all as mothers feel the way that y'all do. I know, Mel, you're going to have that fun regardless. Like,
I mean, but if you can't, I wouldn't wish guilt on anybody. You know what I mean?
That guilt is something vicious too. You feel like your soul went like this and then hit you dead in your ass or something. Like it make you feel bad. It make you feel like my ancestors are staring at me like, you ain't shit. You know that, right? You ain't shit. And I'm like, damn.
Sometimes I'm my own worst enemy.
That's crazy.
Hey, look at the truth. My ex-boyfriend used to just say, "Let's bring the baby." Aw.
So listen, but you know what? That's sweet. So there came a time where, so I was dating this guy at one point. We were dating, and then we stopped dating while I was in college. And then when I came back, and he knew Lola while I was in college. But we were so close. We had been friends before. We had dated before I ever had Lola. I came back home. We started dating again. We would take Lola out with us, and then we broke up. He became like my best friend, but
no,
he
you're not
was the guy in my life.
Just starting it.
He was the guy in my life, even though he was like my friend. You know what I mean? Lola knew him forever, and we went out. When we went out with Lola everywhere. Like, so
Aw.
he was like, "Let's go. I'm picking up me and Lola. We're going out. We're gonna go get something to eat. We're all going to the movies." Like, it was the three of us. At that time, I wasn't dating, but like, he was the closest male figure Lola had in her life because he was, I knew him. We were close. We had dated before while I was with, pregnant with Lola, and then afterwards, when we weren't dating, he was just the only person that I went out with her. But I was also very like. And so this is my second thing. Like, how do y'all feel about bringing people that you're casually dating around your children? Like, was that ever a thing? It wasn't. Like, if we weren't dating for real, you wouldn't go meet her.
Casual.
Yeah. You know what's so crazy? I remember watching like movies. Y'all remember like the 80s movies and the 90s movies? You go up, like it'd be the single mom, she's going out on a date, and the guy would come pick her up, and he would sit on the couch and wait for her to finish getting dressed.
And then the kid would walk up.
Yeah, and the kid would be there sitting on the couch with him. Like, they made it seem like,
a lot of nopes.
Right. They made it seem like it was just normal. Like, whoever you're dating for the night is whoever you're dating for the night is come hang out with the kids while you finish getting dressed in the room.
That was not Taz. My man Taz. No, keep going. I'm just shouting people out as they come.
No, I was just saying that was just not an option for me. They made it look like it was normal, like in the movies. Like, that's what you do. You, whoever your date is, even if your kid don't know them, they come in, sit there, wait for you to get ready, and then y'all head out.
Yeah, they got that one kid with the Jolly Rancher in his mouth with something stuck to his head, one sock on, his gut hanging out his shirt, and he's like, "Where you taking my mommy? You got $5?"
Nobody regular. If you're not dating, like if this is just a date, like a first date.
We got a hell no.
Are you comfortable with bringing like people who you're just going out on a regular casual date? Right? Listen.
My son will say this.
Right. Are you okay with bringing like just a person that you're just going out on a casual date with? It might be the first time you're going out. Are you okay with like bringing them over to your house or like them being around your kid?
No.
What about you, Mel?
I mean, I don't like people at my house like that anyway.
I don't even like what's coming to the house.
It's a no.
I mean, it's a no, but it kind of like also depends because I don't.
Oh, she made it! Hey, we got
introduce people to my.
About effing time, Caprina. We're gonna send you the invite. Come on up.
Like I don't.
You got her number?
I don't introduce people to my kids as like an extra parent.
Caprina, text me your
like
number.
Dating or not, you know what I'm saying? So it's like they already know. You know who your father is, like you. So I don't really have that whole. The kid's gonna be confused. The kid's gonna be attached. Like what? Like
on a first date,
kid even get to that level? Like
to me, it wasn't an issue of confusion. It was because I was a single mother to a young girl. I just didn't want her seeing men in rotation come into my house.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about the people who always use that as an excuse. Like,
yeah.
They're gonna get. How did your kid get attached? Like,
friends in the
your
chat.
kids saw this man maybe once or twice, and you telling me your kid got attached?
Yeah, no. Right. Like, I just didn't want I just felt like with me raising a young girl, being a single mom to a young girl, I didn't want her to get used to random men coming in and out of her life. If they weren't anybody that was going to be around for a while, you know what I mean? That was it. Like, not for her to thinking that there was going to be confusion about who they were to her or who they were going to be to her.
Got you.
I just didn't want it to be like, oh, well, who is this? Is this man? And call him about the name of the man who came last week. I didn't want those kind of things. You know what I mean? I also had a thing about exposing her to random people. If you hadn't earned a certain level of trust or place in my life, I didn't feel like you had the right to be around my child. That kind
of thing. That's a fact.
But I guess
that's a fact.
I don't know. I guess around what? Like, I don't do dates with my children at all.
No, but I mean, if they're coming to you to pick you up or just to come and sit or hang out at your house or whatever, I didn't invite people to my house.
First of all, don't invite me in your house because I'm probably going, once you leave to go upstairs, I'm going to probably go check and see what type of food you got and see if you got kids, I'm going to eat their snack real quick. Just one.
Oh my gosh.
I'm dead at this point.
I'm playing. I don't eat nobody's snacks. There's not much confusion with kids, and this is coming from someone with multiple partners who have multiple kids.
Right. I don't think they get confused by that. If anyone ever came to my home,
I sent it to you, Caprina.
Stayed in my lobby.
No, I'm just saying, you know, that's what people say all the time.
Gotta
Like,
earn that. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
oh,
So like
Lance, what's going on, bro?
No one that I was casually dating was allowed to like just come in. You know, they just I'm gonna bring a little around somebody was casually dating because they might not be there. And, you know, they might not be around next week.
First of all, no, go ahead. Because I'm about to say the kid gonna fight me because if I got crumbs and shit on my chest and he know what type of cookies it is, he be like, "Hey, mom, he ain't."
Mike's still talking about sex.
I cannot.
All right, go ahead.
Me too. I was dating a guy for I think we both did it at the same time. Go ahead. No, you got it. I was dating a guy. The people that I've met in my life, when Lola was little that I brought around her. Wait, who's this? I can't see because of the thing.
That's Caprina.
Oh, hey, Caprina.
Oh, my picture didn't come up. That's weird.
No.
Hey, baby, how you doing?
Driving.
Whoa. Okay, I'm teaching my 18-year-old. We doing stuff to get his license straight. So yeah. But hey,
listen, this is live raw, y'all. Hey, 18-year-old, I know you can hear us. How you doing, 18-year-old?
I will never. No, he will never hear this by his mama. He about to get out the car so he can't hear mama business.
Right. Bye. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, we talking about y'all, 18-year-old.
Right.
Yeah, he got here for a reason.
I got one of those too.
Marcus like, put that camera on.
Marcus said, where your face at?
Who said that?
Is that Marcus from the
Yes, this is Marcus.
Yeah.
The last show?
Well, Marcus, why am I acting like this is TikTok?
There you go. What's up? Unless you're gonna turn it back off.
Right.
Don't want to turn back on. I mean, what if the church people see me talking about it on YouTube? You know what I'm saying?
Girl, listen.
They on this, they following us. I don't know how they made it over here.
At this point, they just gonna have to see me.
I don't know how the church people made it over here.
I'm too temple. I'm crazy.
At this point, they just have to see me.
What's the question? What y'all want to know? Hold on.
Well, we were currently talking about did you bring like people that you were just casually dating around your children? How did you feel about it?
Oh, no. I have brought one person around my kids, but I have not brought a whole bunch. I don't believe in that because how would I know you're gonna make it? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So why would I do that to my kids? And they keep having Uncle Larry, Uncle John, Uncle this, and I've seen other people go through that. I've seen other friends.
But you know what I'm saying?
Until they become daddy.
She just confirmed what I said. Like, why are y'all calling them?
I guess all these different uncles and stuff.
So why you don't introduce the person as a friend the same way I would introduce my kids to
right.
I'm gonna introduce them to basic the same way I would. Like, why does the gender matter?
Right.
No, true.
Because Basic may not always come to my house. She may not always be around, but they know Basic came over. Basic was playing cards. It was, everybody was over here.
Right.
That's Basic. You know what I'm saying? I guess because we always say people might be temporary, but the person that you were with that was an ex that was around your kid that's not there no more, they're not here no more.
Right.
Uncle to
Right, from uncle to dad. That's what I'm saying. Don't do that. Introduce the people as
Can you imagine?
who they are.
Who does that?
Uncle Daddy Mike.
Who does that though?
Uncle Daddy Mike.
I mean, back in the day, you had a lot of people who had different uncles coming through, and I had homegirls. I was like, dang, girl, that's another uncle. And then as I got older, I was like, man, mama was a hoe. Mama had all these goddamn men around.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Not because my mom and dad have been together now 46, 47 years, so I never experienced that growing up.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Lance, that's a wild question.
Men should come at night. So I would say this: I've had a guy come to my house at night while my kids are asleep, and he had to take me and slide his tail right on out. Don't you dare!
I had one do that too. I had one who was late enough to come on over. She sleep.
Yo, you funny.
No, it was Brenda Letitia.
What? I know who that is.
Yeah, that's Vanessa.
That's Vanessa. I said, like, wait a minute. Why she got C made by her name? I kept saying, who is that? Okay, I'm sorry, off subject. But yeah, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that because when you have kids, like for me now, I have a daughter, my two sons. One thing about them, they see me as their mother, they see me as a certain thing. So they put me on this platform to know as a woman, this is the type of woman I know. I'm a standard for whatever woman that comes into their life. That's the country talking right there. Life.
Right.
Okay. So when I come to my daughter, I'm raising my daughter to be the strong Black woman, and I hate to say strong, but at the same time have fragile moments where she allowed to be weak when she needs to, have her cry moments, do what she need to do, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm raising her, I can't let her keep seeing mama, this man come around and this one hurt my heart and this one hurt my heart and this one doing this and this one doing that. What am I saying to my daughter? Like, is this normal?
Right.
Because I was married to her daddy for like 13 years. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only man she really know is him.
I think also for me, you're right, Katrina, but also, and I think also for me an element was Lola's father was never in her life.
See,
and so
she never seen anything.
No, so I didn't want it to. I was careful about how I skewed like her relationship with me and men and dating. Like it was important to me to make sure that I was careful with that, because with her father never being in her life and me never being married, I had to be very careful about the way I presented her or introduced the relationship with men. You know what I mean?
Right.
I didn't want it to look like a revolving door. I didn't want there to be that. You know what I mean? Like I just had to be very careful about how I presented my relationship with men and men in her life.
Right.
Because her father was never in her life. You know what I mean?
Right. And see, difference for me, my daughter has her father in her life. And he plays a big role in her life. So does my father and her two uncles. So she has cousins, nothing. She's the only girl. So literally it's men around her all the time and she's the only girl. So she understands love of the standpoint of seeing how my father treats my mother. Even seeing how her father respects me, even though we're not together, but we do have that respect to where we pick the kids up, we don't argue, we don't do all the other stuff. Because I feel like when you do all that means I'm still emotionally attached to this man. I'm not. So you can come get your child because mama got needs too. Okay, get on. Bye. You know what I'm saying? When I tell you I drop my children off so quick, that car speed off like the wheels in the back be smoking in the back by the time I drop my goddamn kids off. I don't play them games. You know what I'm saying?
So you be flying down the street like Corellasville when she was
my daughter probably in mid conversation, bye, and she's like, bye, mama, gonna give me a kiss, and I be gone. Gone. I don't have time for that. You know what I'm saying? Because I have a life too, just like he has a life. So, like I said, when it comes to that, I want my kids to see the positive part. You know what I'm saying? Because it's enough negative already going around the world as it is. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes, I smoke off because you never know what I got planned. You know what I'm saying? So I need to make sure my weekend is free. Gone.
Okay.
I be like,
does it matter to you, or like if your child was like, I don't like him for whatever reason, or her, is that the end all be all?
Okay, I haven't had that situation yet. But I feel like if I did though, I think I would ask my child, why do you feel that way? You know what I'm saying? What made you feel that way about this person, especially the person, if I feel like the person never did nothing to offend you. So no, not at first I wouldn't, but sometimes kids can sense it, and also kids play with you too, right? So kids will have that mindset, I want my parents to be back together, so I'm gonna play these mind games with this my mom and that, you know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful in all things. You know what I'm saying? You just have to be so careful. Kids are haters. They really are. F them kids. That's what I say. But mute.
Some kids be hating.
It's a no for me.
It's a no.
Yeah, it's enough for me.
Because like I said, I treat people as my kids understand people.
They are.
My kids be thinking like people are platonic friends, right? Even if they're not. My kid is going to understand that you are a platonic friend. Right. So it's like, if my kid is like, they give them a weird vibe.
Yeah.
You gotta go.
I
ain't answering my kids.
My kids know I ain't trying to get back, like, so they never worry. I never worry about that. So my kids
if my kids don't like you, then something got to be wrong. Because my kids like their mama, they don't meet a stranger. They get along with anybody. So if you come across my threshold and they be like, I'm like,
yeah, that's actually I agree with you, Caprina, because my daughter is she has a lot of personality when it comes to that. Like as far as like just the naturalness of liking people, period. Like I just like people, but you gotta give me a reason not to like you.
Fact.
Once you give me a reason not to like you, then it's like okay,
that's right.
I know what to do with that.
Because I'm the type I be around people. If I feel your energy off when I come in, that's automatically like, yeah, they don't like me. Let me go.
If you smell like back,
some I don't know what I said, but they don't like me. Let me get out of here. But my daughter,
I'm sorry, I'm about to put it back.
My daughter is super smart.
Something definitely wrong. She said she don't like you. See?
Right. Oh, see, yeah.
My baby's a tough one to crack. I think there's only been one time where Lola has been weird.
Man, Vanessa, you know who the parent is? I see why that baby a tough one. Okay, I'm sorry.
There's only been one time when I think Lola was weird about somebody that she thought I liked. And she was like, I don't like him. And I don't even know if she had a real reason. But I was like, how you not? I was like, I can't even
believe that, baby.
Give somebody some interest. Listen, it didn't. It ended up not going anywhere. But she was like, I don't like him. I was like, I don't even know why, but she didn't. Do y'all think that you ever felt like that there was ever a time when they didn't like them because maybe they were comparing them to the other parent?
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
I can see that. I can see the only reason I can say that because my daughter's father's dating somebody and she really likes the woman. And she say something like, Mama, is she like a mother to me? I said, did your daddy marry that woman? And then she ain't no mother to you, then nigga. That's your daddy girlfriend. That's all she is right now. Until she get a ring, then that's a different story. She's like, oh, okay then. You know what I'm saying? But I tell them, I said, if you like her, don't like her. Don't act like you portray me because you like her. I don't never. That's almost like me picking my friends. Just say my sister has a good friend, but I don't like the friend like that. But I'm not gonna tell them not to be friends with them. That's childish. We're adults. Right. They could be friends with both of us. It's so it's cool. I told her it's okay. I don't feel bad. I ain't mad because you like somebody else, girl. You be all right.
If anyone tries to talk to me in the streets, he start screaming, "Mommy, let's go, mommy."
Oh, I can see that.
Right. I'm snatching her right along. I had to tell my daughter once it's okay to like her.
Oh. Right, that's what I'm saying. So I had to tell my daughter the same thing. It's okay to like her. If you like her, it's okay. I'm not mad because as long as you know who mama is, it don't matter.
Yeah. Your kid ain't never gonna stop,
Right. So
I'm gonna share something.
Go ahead.
That's fine. The insecurities, but go ahead. That's fine. Let me mute myself.
No, you good. You good. It's personal, but I don't mind talking about it because it's in the past. So one day, I know me and my child's mother got into an argument about something. I've never cared about anybody that she's dated in that type of way. Never try to talk to them. Never try to do anything because she never really introduced me to the people. But I remember we had a situation with each other, and he said something to me, like he addressed me about something. And this is the tricky thing about dating women with kids, but when you got an active father that can probably hurt you, you don't say certain things. And I think he had said something like, well, I'm here with her and your daughter wakes up here with me. Ooh. Yeah. I had people made phone calls to him. Yeah, people made phone calls to him because it was like, no, Mike, you don't have to do it. Let me do it type of situation. And he had to learn that lesson real quick before. And then I'm like, you need to tell him what the deal is too, because some people say things and they don't realize what they're saying. But that's another tricky thing with dating. So when you got a kid, what happens when the other parent is introducing people to the kids? That's why when y'all talking about like, okay, you like the other the father's girlfriend or whatever. Like Gabby was cool with him, but she knew who I was. She ain't no way in hell ain't no way in hell any man was ever going to be able to. She was going to call any other man father or dad.
Right.
And see that. So I will say this. I say this about my situation. I told my kid's father this. Long as I know I have to trust your personality that you won't have any and everybody around my kids, right? So I have to trust you that you will be adult enough to make sure whatever woman you do bring around them, that she will respect my kids and treat my kids, with kindness or whatever. Because I would do the same. I'm not gonna have any man around my kids. I'm not gonna have any man do anything out the way. And if they did get married, she can call her mama, whatever, but it gotta be mama, her name, like Mama Pam. It can't be just mama. You know what I'm saying? Mama Pam. It won't be just mama, I'm mama. But it could be like, you know, Mama Juju, Mama Johnson, you know, Mama Smith or something, you know, but it can't be just.
But that's not like Big Mama though. You know that, right?
Yeah. But I'm saying that's what she can't just get mama title. It gonna just be mama. You know what I'm saying?
Big Mama.
Yeah, because if a man come in my life, then he'll be Daddy John. You know what I'm saying? It won't be just Dad. You know, but just enough because I know that man in the house, he gonna help pay bills. He gonna help doing stuff too. So you want to make sure he has a little respect, just a little bit. But you know, that's just me because you know that's some of my stuff.
So the question is, Caprina, do you call him Daddy Johnson? All right, on to the next question.
I mean, no. I don't call him Daddy Johnson. I call him Daddy. Not Daddy Johnson.
What were you getting ready to say? No, you getting ready to say something?
No, Mel just heard me say something. And
I was just saying that. Well, my dad remarried when I was like 1. But I ain't never called that lady.
Damn.
Mama.
Oh, you never call her mama either?
No, why would I?
You ain't never get used to it. You was 1 year old. Damn.
So what you call her by her first name?
Yeah, that's Pat.
See, that right there is kind of strong quote. That, but I mean, if that's okay though, if that works in y'all household, that's fine. Like I don't tell nobody what to do in their household. That works, that's fine. But for me, I feel like if that person in the house making sure that child going to school, helping with homework too, helping pay bills, helping stuff, why you can't just give them a Mama Pam? You know what I'm saying? But that's me though. That's you know. You said what? She did what?
You could put a miss. I would not want. Let me tell you something. I mean, I don't like to date men with kids younger than mine, but if your kid is calling me mom, I'm gonna be like, no, not
mom. They would call me Mama Prina, or Miss Prina, or Miss Prina.
Mama, honey, it don't matter. Don't do it.
Right,
Mama,
do that.
She's just don't want nothing. Mama,
have y'all ever? Do you guys? How do you set parameters for the amount of parenting and discipline that they can? We'll call them bonus parents. That a bonus parent can do. Even if, so, is it a difference between if they're married versus if they are dating a person and that other person's in their life? Like, how do you decipher, or what kind of limitations do you put on the discipline that the other person can give?
It's an age thing for me.
Not only age, but I think how much time that person been in my life. Like he been in my life for a couple of months, over a year. If we're married, yes, you have the right to tell that child sit down, be quiet. You have that right to tell that child to come over and do, especially if you making stuff. As far as discipline, I can give them the 2-piece and a biscuit. Let me do it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, because you got some kids who step parents do it all, and I have nothing against it. It's like I said, even each household is going to be different how they handle everything, and I think it's the respect to each household what they choose to do. But yeah, I don't want my child telling another adult to sit down and be quiet, and the other adult is going to sit there and look at me to tell them. I'm gonna look at you like, you better tell them to sit down and be quiet. What you looking at me for? Don't let that child talk to you like that. But that's me.
I had a guy come in one of my lives one time, and he said he was asking me because he had been dating this woman for a while, and she would complain to him about her child and how her daughter spoke to her. And so when he said something about it or made a suggestion, then he was the enemy. Like, you don't say this about my child.
Don't do it. Yeah, don't
say this about my kid, and like you don't get disciplined, or you don't get to say something. And my thing was, I feel like I'm very much that way. If I don't ask you to say something, or if I'm not asking for your opinion on my child and how I discipline them, keep that. And that goes for anybody. Right. Unless I asked for your advice on what I should do when it comes to the raising of my child, how about you keep that for yourself? I don't need that. If we date, I need you to put your input in.
So basically, was he asking her opinion? Or she was just venting.
She was venting, and he told her what she should do and how she needs to handle it, and it became a fight between them. Because she was like, "Whoa, you don't talk about her," and he was like, "I don't understand because she's complaining." And the girl talked to her and pop off and say whatever she wants to. And so I said, I was like, "Listen, when it comes to children, that's tricky. Like you have to walk a fine line with somebody else's child."
It might be tricky, but at the same time, she venting to a man who cares about her. And if I care about you, I'm
Oh,
telling you.
okay.
Yeah,
Right.
and it's
I
right.
didn't know
It's
that.
his kids. If you're venting to the man you care about, and he's like, yo, then you ain't gotta let your child talk to you like that. You know, you can
Right.
do such and such and such. And it's up to you to take that what that statement is or not. And I know I view things differently because I'm different a little bit. But if I'm constantly if you so it's like a friend who keep coming to girl, this man is this girl's man,
Yeah.
and you tell her, hey girl, do this and that. She be like, why are you telling me that? Well, then stop calling me, telling me about da 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 da.
Right.
If you upset about how your child is treating you, then don't tell that man how that child treating you. Then be
If you
quiet.
don't want him
Let
to
the
say
child keep exactly. If you don't want him to say nothing, then let that child keep stepping over you. Because I'm telling you, I
Mhm.
put to the bug of 7. I'm gonna tell you right now. I know she's gonna get to the age she's gonna try me. She gonna be between her wash and dry on everything I love. I ain't worried about it.
right.
Don't do that.
Hold on.
Straight wash between straight wash and dry. I know she's gonna try me. It's all right. My sons never try, but my daughter gonna be the one. It's all right. That's why I'm working on my weight now, so I get working exercise, so I can be ready.
That's why I went back my
Uh-huh.
back mama to avoid that drama. It's just like
Damn.
Right.
That's
Oh
facts.
Lord.
it's a tricky line to walk. Like I think from his point of view is he was trying to help her and he was giving
Right.
her a suggestion.
Right.
She felt offended because he spoke on her child. And so she didn't like it. It caused some issues. And I was like, listen, if that's what you see is happening now, then maybe you just need to let that go unless she comes to you and says, what should I do? Like, don't step in and discipline, especially if she obviously feels like feels a way about you saying something about the way her child acts. Like you may just have to like kind of handle that in a different way because it's tricky.
Mhm.
Like me personally,
It
like
is tricky. It is
I
tricky.
think like especially because like my daughter's about to be 19 in a couple months, but I feel like if somebody were at this point to tell me how I need, like if you're volunteering information on what you think I need to do with my child, please keep all voluntary information. Please keep that to yourself.
Yeah, I
I
feel
don't
Because
that.
need
each
you
child,
to
yeah,
tell
yeah.
me. I don't need you to tell me what you think I should do. If you observe something that you don't agree with at this point, I don't care. Okay, that's my child. I've raised her. I'm doing what I think is best. Just trust that what I'm doing is what I think. Like none of us are perfect. We're all trying to do our
Right.
best in raising our
Right.
children. So with keeping that in mind, when someone from the outside comes in and they have like some outside observation and they don't have anything to do with the raising of your child, please keep all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
Um,
I
Well,
was. Oh,
it's
go
even
ahead,
worse
Mel.
when
I'm
they
sorry.
don't have kids giving you advice. So go ahead, Mike.
No, Mel. Go ahead. What you was about to say? I got something for it though.
No, what I said. What you? Okay. I mean, I'm sorry. I got sidebar. What you say? What you got? You got something for what? I got sidebar. What you got? I'm
Okay.
making like a kid.
Brittany, what you
He
talking
said he
about?
got something. He talking about I got something for that. What you talking about? What you got? What for what that? What the what? For the kids.
Who said that?
I think that's what Mike said. Girl, I be hearing stuff.
Mike, you
Whoa,
said
no,
that?
no. I said I got something for the conversation.
Oh.
Oh, that's what I was like. What is he talking about? What does he
I
got?
was confused. She was like, what
I
you
got
got?
something for what y'all talking about.
Boy, I'm too tickled.
That
But
damn your accent just was kicking. All that countryness was just going in just now. I was over here.
hey, not too much on my country. Hold on, let me.
Right.
I'm trying to get my country together. Hold on.
We
It
get the
ain't gonna
country
happen.
together, Capri. That's all right.
It ain't gonna happen. So look, she cracking up over there. Um, so this woman I talked to before, she had kids. She had a son that was extremely disrespectful towards her. His father was in his life, but his father was disrespectful to her too.
Ooh.
So, oh man, yeah, I'm gonna have to tell it. Fuck it. So I just was observing that shit. Like I'm like, this kid is something wrong with him. He just keep disrespecting his mom. Like she telling us that he'd be sitting there talking back all the time. You know, he stuttered a little bit when he talked, so it was like it it rattled me a little bit. And I remember one day he got into an argument with her, or not him, but she was trying to get them over to his house because it was his time to pick up his kids, and he basically got mad at her about something, and he starts yelling at her. I mean, the ex starts coming in trying to yell at her and base at the mom. The kids is talking to her a certain way. I don't know what made me say something because usually that is not my space to do that. But I walked down there. He looked at me and just stared, and I just walked down the steps and I just pulled him outside and I had a conversation with him. I said, "Yo, your son is disrespecting his mother. I said, but he's doing it because you're doing it. This is what you do. So you disrespecting your mom, disrespecting his mom is letting him see that he can do that stuff. Oh, well, she know to call me. If she can call me, then I'll be on it. I'll whoop his ass. I'll do this. And I'm sitting here like, you're blowing smoke up my ass right now, telling me that because I'm watching you sit here try to yell at you didn't know I was here. So when I came downstairs, your whole tune and everything changed. I'm basically telling you need to teach your son to not disrespect because it's like me as a guy who's talking to his mother, how am I supposed to react to that?
Yeah.
How am I supposed to continuously sit and watch that happen? It's like 4 years ago. How am I supposed to sit here and watch that happen? Like, what am I supposed to do with that? Just sit here and let him go in on his mom 24/7?
Well, Mike, you a good one, and she a good one too, because he would have had two buckshots.
No, I got. I actually had to start getting on, and I'm telling him, I said, "Yo, what you need to." I said, "You're an active person in his life, so I don't need to say nothing to you. That's your son. I don't need to say nothing to your son because you're an active parent in his life. But I should be able to call you, or she should be able to call you to tell you when you, huh? But he got the whitest thing.
What's the whitest thing? What's the whitest thing you ever seen?
I don't even know what he's talking about. Just basically pulling them to the side. I have no clue. But
first of all, no, Mike, you handle it like you're supposed to. I would say blowing smoke up my head. That is a white comment. But listen, so but you did the most respectful thing is pulling the man over because that boy need to see that and that man need to see, hey, she has a man here. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching how y'all talk to her. And you went by it the right way because some men would have did it. Some men would have came in a straight fight. No, some people need to know I'm here.
Right.
And that's
I'm watching how you moving.
I had to come at him that way because I had to show him like, yo, you're disrespecting her, which is allowing him to see that. Like he's seeing that, so now he feels as though he can disrespect his mom. And his mom is being so loving and caring, even though she's snapping on him. If I'm sitting here looking and I'm not sitting back saying it to pull up our moms and all this stuff, but it's like I'm sitting back thinking to myself, what the hell are you laughing at?
I was like, I'm reading their comments and I was like, Mike basically said, listen here, buddy.
Yeah, basically he's like, listen here, pal. What you're not gonna do is keep disrespecting her, okay? I'm here and I see you, all right?
Okay,
you blowing smoke up my ass, her ass, everybody ass around here. You're blowing it up, pal. Now watch your buddy.
Yeah.
Y'all are fucking hilarious, yo.
That's all that was going through my head.
And if you don't get your stuff right, you're gonna get 2 knuckles to the mouth.
I didn't say that personally.
He said, "Now, gosh darn it, get it together."
I didn't say that personally. Don't laugh at me, lie. I didn't say that personally to him. Y'all screaming. You stop it too, Kristen.
Gosh darn it, get it together, pal.
So I didn't say that to him. I'm thinking that in my head, like, yo, this bull is like telling me some bullshit right now. He was like, cut the malarkey.
but I'm gonna say this is how I know Mike can fight because Mike was so calm. He was so calm at first, and if it did explode, I'm sure Mike could take care of himself. But Mike had to say, gosh darn bananas, what you're not gonna do, okay? Get it together.
Y'all are funny as shit. Yes, the malarkey.
The malarkey is killing me.
Y'all having a fun ass time. I love it, yo. I bet it's how many people in here? I better see at least 13 likes right now. But y'all going in on me. Everybody X out and press that like button. Y'all better be
I got look at here, I got you, pal. As soon as I get off, I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna like it. I got you.
Gotcha, pal. Don't worry.
Fuck you, Marcus. He started this shit. Yo, go ahead. But no. I'll finish it by saying I had to have that conversation because as I'm sitting here listening to it, how would I be dating somebody and listening to the father do that while I'm there and then the son doing it too?
Yeah.
That don't even sound right to me. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of people will back down from it. They be like, oh, that's your problem, whatever the case is. Cool. But like at some point, like if somebody don't come and show this is not a fucking thing to do, like
they think that's normal.
I got you, like, buddy.
I can't.
She can't help herself.
Mike, Mike, you did the right thing. I'm gonna say this: you did the right thing, and as any man in that position, you
What's
got
going
me
on? I
stuttering.
ain't know that was you,
God
Tree.
dang it!
Tree, they
But
fucking with me, Tree.
but you did the right thing. Gosh darn it! And don't ever let nobody tell you nothing. Don't let anybody tell you nothing different. Okay?
I cannot.
Tree,
Ooh,
I'm gonna text it to you. If you want to come up
Oh,
personally and get on the camera and stuff like that, you can come up. We talking about the what the hell is our topic? I don't even remember it now. Y'all got me fucking laughing. Our topic is basically talking
we was
about
talking about what kind of good, wholesome citizen you is, and how you pulled old guy over to have a good old conversation, buddy, pal
Jesus
conversation.
crackers, buddy, work with me here.
we
Crackers.
about to finish the whole
My
show just coming at me now. All right.
I
Got
can't.
it.
Oh Jesus! Listen, when
You know what, Mike? Moving forward, when I see your TikTok, I'm like, gosh darn it, Mike! I appreciate you so much.
Y'all
The malarkey.
I love
I'm
it.
gonna say, Mike. Anytime you give me an answer, say stop blowing smoke out my ass.
Right, you're blowing smoke up my ass, buddy. Listen, I can't even get through this because it's so funny. Oh my god, okay, wait, hold on. All right, here we go.
Okay,
Get
I'm
it together.
ready.
Here we go.
You got one more laughing. You go ahead.
We coming back. No, I'm bringing it back. All right. Someone brought up a really good point. Mm-hmm. They were saying, like, what if that person is paying bills in the house, like contributing, like they're paying bills, they're contributing to the household. Why can't he have something to say when it comes to raising? You know what I mean? Like, so she was upset. And they did live together. That was a good point. Like, they did live together. She was upset about his input on her child. But, like, what does it say for if I'm contributing to the household and to the bills and all that stuff? Like, why don't I have a say? Is that validation enough for them to be able to, like, have input?
I think so. I think so because that's his household. Oh, go ahead, Mel. I'm sorry.
Mel don't want to buy in the house anyway, so.
Mel, what you gonna say?
I mean, you paying bills says what? What that mean? That means absolutely nothing to me.
Right.
I mean, but I mean, I can say that from my standpoint, as other people who probably can't. But as much discipline that you have as much discipline from my child as their school teacher has.
Right, right.
But see, okay, so I'm gonna say that on that fact. So the school teacher be it with your child way more than you sometimes, Monday through Friday, right? Mm-hmm. So you're gonna let your child, because what I can't stand the statement that some people make is that I know my child wouldn't do that, but I remember we all was children, right? And we know some of the things we did and wouldn't think our parents, you know what I'm saying, would do the same thing and come to say, you know, what we didn't do with our children. So if your teacher tell your child to sit down and don't talk, and your child continue to talk and continue to talk, and then they call you, you can be like, "What you calling me for? You the teacher? Why you can't control your classroom?" So you know it's like a two-way sword.
Oh,
but you can't. I don't. No. I'm not saying you don't. I'm just saying for the ones who complain all the time about want to cuss the teacher out, but your child acting up in the classroom. Your child disrupting the classroom. You know what I'm saying? But everybody want to see their child's precious. Okay, that's not a good example, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like I said, everybody's household is different. How you do your household, and it's no judgment. How everybody do is how you move, right? But what you can't say is another adult living in your home and you're gonna let your child sit there and disrespect them like that. No.
Yeah.
There's never a time I'm gonna let another child talk to another adult like that. Never.
Mm-hmm.
Never.
Right.
But that's not what she was saying. She was saying the input on
the discipline because they paid.
Oh yeah. But okay, so this is what
discipline my child.
Oh no. What I'm talking about as far as that, then she need to talk to her mom about it. She need to talk to her daddy about it. She need to talk to her sister about it. Don't talk to your man about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't want your man to be the one telling you how to do such and such and such, or if you don't see him no future in your life, then don't talk to him about it. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy how you gonna have somebody in your life and you think about having a future, and then now people don't understand you a package deal, right? When you're a mother or a father, right?
Oh, I don't like that statement. I don't like that.
Ooh. Okay.
But why? Because you come to
you're not dating my children. I'm not a package.
No. I might not be dating your children, but your children is with you. 24/7. That's who you love. Them, that is part of you. So if I love you, I gotta love a part that you had as well, right? I gotta respect them as well, right?
Right. But and also
you don't
in
have to
terms
ever
of,
meet my children.
but if you're
No,
dating like
I'm talking about no.
seriously,
What
like
I'm talking about, somebody serious. I'm not talking about no.
I'm
Yeah, I
not.
ain't talking about no.
Somebody
Yeah,
can be
yeah.
serious, and you don't have to be on that level with their children. Like you
don't
saying,
know.
I
Okay.
don't love you because you don't sit here and play laser tag with my kids.
But
Tree, I
not
said this before
that,
too.
Okay.
but
No.
like in the same
No.
token,
No.
though, you
No.
said if your kids don't like somebody, they gotta go. If you don't get along with my child and
Yeah.
you're
That.
dating me
Yeah. We're not.
seriously,
Yeah.
that's a problem
No,
because
but
she
But
is a
it's
part of
not to
me.
get along. You're saying discipline, right? Okay,
Oh
hear me.
no.
If
No.
you're
No. 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 No.
home
Wait.
and something happened at school, why is he disciplining my child?
No. He should never discipline your child. That should come to you.
That
But what
and
I'm
that's
saying
what
is,
that's
what is
what the
your
question
example?
was.
But what is your examples of discipline? Are y'all talking about
so I
ass
mean,
whoopings? Or y'all talking about
okay, so for
talking?
me, if I could pop my kid, they mine, goddamn. I don't give a damn how anybody say. But if he say, this, for example, this say he come in the house and he might say, hey, you mind washing them dishes right quick before your mom get home? I ain't washing them after dishes. Wait a minute, you're not gonna talk to that grown man like that?
Right.
Everybody, this is my one of my. Oh my god, how long has it been Tree? Like
So
20 years now.
that's what I'm
Anyway,
saying.
Still baby sister.
yeah, it's baby sister right there. Turn your camera to the side so it could be like ours. There you go.
Huh? Oh, okay, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So, all right.
I wanted to join because I had too much. It was too much to type, but I agree with the not liking the title of being a package deal, but it's kind of hit or miss because I feel like with what is this Capone?
Actually,
Caprina.
yeah, that's fine. That's it's
what you
Caprina.
were
It's called
saying,
Caprina. I'm
because
sorry.
at any given moment, yes, you are a package deal because there has to be a respect factor. Like, I am a single mom. I got 2 kids, and guess what? You gonna respect my kids. I'm not saying I'm gonna love you any less if you love me any less because you don't do the playing with them, but there are certain limitations. Right. As far as y'all were speaking about when somebody is living in that household, yes, I can respect your opinion, but I kind of come from the mindset of if you didn't bore my kids, you didn't carry my kids, and you are not daily, yes, I'm back up. You are not daily raising my kids. Being in a household with them doesn't entitle you to discipline them, yell at them. Like, no, that's what I'm there for. Now, if you feel my child has done something disrespectful, we as adults will have a conversation. And then I will discipline my child the way I see fit. But yeah, no, all that you thinking you about to raise your voice at my child, yeah, we got a problem. Especially when you have a good situation with the other parent, because even if you don't have a good situation with the other parent, if that other parent comes into play, if I allow you to do that's disrespectful to them. So now I have to.
So I'm not talking about no boyfriend. I'm not talking about some. So Kay, I'm not talking about some boyfriend or some dude who live in one house. I'm talking about a husband. I'm not talking about some rent. For me, I know one day I'm eventually gonna get married again, right? And so yes, he's going to have to respect my children because they are with me. They constantly with me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't never want my children to think they're gonna talk to another adult. My fact, just forget that. I don't even allow my children to disrespect another unless another adult call and said disrespect them, and I said come get me and let me handle it, not you. And that's where the problem comes in. Some of these kids want to talk to the adults as if there are adults and they're not. They're children. Come find your parent and let your parent handle that situation.
Say, I'm quick to go get somebody's parent. You ain't gonna talk to me kind of way. But that falls under
go get the
how
parent.
somebody raised their kid. Because that means that person raised their kid or come from a household in which that was acceptable.
Right.
So we can never. I can't judge you for how you raise your kids because I didn't grow up in your life and I don't know your life.
Facts.
I may not agree with what you allow your kids to do. I may definitely not agree with your kid disrespecting me. Me and you as adults will have to have a conversation, but I could never judge you because I am not in your shoes.
Right.
And there's
we all come from
no
different
right
backgrounds.
way to raise a child.
Right.
So that's
something you got to figure out.
Right, I agree.
So that's my point with the discipline thing is I don't know how you discipline your children. And this goes for any adult, right? Even friends. Because you might let your kids smoke and drink in your house. I have a friend like that. She'd be like, well, they do it in my house. It's cool. I'm like, okay. But I don't want my kid doing that. But it's nothing against them. I just don't want my kid doing that. But if I had you around my kid and you gave my kid a drink, now I feel some type of way.
Right.
Oh hell yeah! You should.
That's a problem. That's a problem. Oh yeah.
The disciplinary stuff and how it's all on me.
So I'm gonna ask you this, Mel, just because I really want to know this question. This is serious for me. When it comes to dating somebody, if they're long term in your life, we're talking about 5-6 years into your life. They have a rapport with your children. They know your children. Your child, just in this one instance, your child gets out of line like a mofo on this with this person. Is he just always go to you for things like that, or do you feel as though that you should be able to trust him at that point enough to be able to have that conversation with the kid in a disciplinary way without being at the point where somebody's ready to put their hands on them?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like the disciplinary factor you should have would be just as much as like a teacher. A teacher is going to correct you, right? They're going to course correct the situation. They're going to sit down. They're going to have that conversation with you. If you don't know how to do that, then you don't need to talk to my child at all. Because I don't need you being angry. I don't need you trying to raise your voice, because some people let their ego get out of line, right? And then they feel like, oh, this kid disrespecting me. I mean, I have little girls. But imagine if I had a boy and then a man feel like, oh, he talking to me any kind of way, you ready to square up with my son.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Realistically,
you don't know people's triggers, and even as much as you say you can know somebody, even in a marriage, you don't know people until it actually happens.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? You don't know stuff until the situation actually happens. So we could talk all day and make up all the scenarios. But I could be married to you and everything has been going good. Now, one day my kid was having a bad day, is out of line. And now I see a whole different side of you that I've never seen before.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. But see, that's just the roll of the dice that you can run into somebody that's like that. Most of the time, if you're with this person for a long period of time like that, he's already developed the love and the care. Not saying that the narcissistic people still don't exist within those relationships, but by that point, he's, like I said, he's built the rapport with you. He's built the rapport across the board where the trust is already there. So a lot of the times, like, you have girls, so it's different. But if it's a little boy, you have a man and a boy there, chances are there's some things that this man is going to be able to teach this boy, especially when it comes to disrespect. I'd say he disrespecting you, like the instance of what I was giving y'all the example before we started going in about the malarkey and everything. When we had the situation with that, the young man disrespected his mother. I'm just saying, Mel, of course you can handle it, but just imagine if the father is that way towards you and the son is that way towards you. You probably throw the whole kid in the trash. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just saying that in the sense of
picking them up on the porch.
Imagine, but like, you might, let's say you that loving and caring mother that loves their kids so much that it don't make no sense. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm bad. I'm sorry.
What do you do? What can the person that you're involved with, your partner in your life, what can he do in that moment?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, can he step up and actually say something? Yeah.
I think it do fall into what you said, like as far as having a conversation, but you teetering on a thin line, because like she said, you don't know somebody until it happened.
Right.
And say they might have started that conversation off on a good note. So you like, okay. But the minute they go left, now we got a bigger problem.
Right. So
right.
Is that something that you think that people should discuss, like in the beginning of a relationship? Like, what are the boundaries? Definitely in the beginning. This is how far you get to go. You don't get, like, are those the
I think that conversation should change. Not the beginning, but I think as time go on, the conversation. And then once we start talking about marriage, then that's when we most definitely get deep in it when we start adding marriage to it. But go ahead, I'm sorry, me.
No.
I'm agreeing with you. I feel like that's something that, yes, you need to have a conversation, but it's more of a check-in conversation. It's more like, as we move forward, what type of parenting are you? How is your parenting skills? What is your game plan for interacting with my child? Or what is the game plan you expect from me with interacting with your children? Where's our guidelines? Because that's something that, yeah, we are going to have to, that's a check-in conversation, because when we're dating, yes, what are my guidelines for interacting with your child? Okay, now we moving on to, this is 100% exclusive. Okay, with this being exclusive, what are the interactions that you are expecting? Once we go to we moving in with each other, okay, now we need to have a sit down. How do you parent in your household? Because this is how I parent. These are the things I'm willing to accept in my household. What are the things you allow in your household?
Right. And discipline don't have to be a loud tone either. My daddy was the most quietest man ever, but we was fearful of him. All he had to say was, "Didn't I tell y'all not to say?" And we'd be like, "Yes, sir."
My mom don't even say, "Didn't I tell you?" My mom just turned around.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, yeah.
So discipline.
I know your mother.
Right.
She turned her. She got a look, and you just knew. And it's crazy because my kids now didn't get beatings from my mom, but guess what? That same look
come from me. Best believe that. On and popping. So, like I say, I don't judge or knock anybody. That's even like my siblings. So we, as 4 of us, so all our kids go to each other's house. I know for a fact I allow my brother to check my daughter or my sons, because my kids never act up at my brother's house. Same thing that my nephews come to my house. Oh, you gonna get checked.
I'm your aunt. Whoa, you not nephews, you my kid.
Yeah, you my kid. You about to get checked too. You know what I'm saying? So it's everything I know is just, just going around. Like I said, back in the day, they say it took a village, because you have people back in the day. You know what I'm saying? See a child act up, they're gonna go tell your mom. Oh, I'm gonna tell your mama you out here doing this, this, and that. Now people just don't care no more.
You said tell your mom. When I was young, they was beating your ass up the street.
I mean, I'm saying they will beat you and tell your mama you got beat twice.
The neighbor whooping.
Actually, the crazy part is that's crazy, because I was just talking to my coworker about this earlier. I said, "Yo, it's crazy." I said back in the day, everybody used to whoop your ass. The barber used to slap you in the back of your head. You move around too much. The Asian lady would tell your grandmother that you did something wrong, so now she's whooping your ass. The neighbor whoop your ass. Her best friend will whoop your ass. Everybody's whooping your ass. Now, I'm not saying everything is about ass whoopings, but that's just how shit was for them. I'm not a fan of it.
It kept you in check. You knew it was never a moment that you could go outside your use.
Right.
On the strength of, my mom used to always say, "I got eyes everywhere." That was like the staple of don't show out. Because I could think I was getting away with something. And baby, I come home, be like, I had a good day. And she like, "Oh, so you wasn't on the corner of this street talking to this little boy?" And now
see,
I'm like,
Marcus,
whoa.
And Marcus by me knowing that, and if we were siblings, I would never watch your kids, because your child will never come to, but I'm saying that, but I will understand, we would have the understanding. No, be no love laws. We would still be cool, everything. But your kids just couldn't come to my house.
Yeah, I don't think that's generational trauma. That is
a
village being a village.
Wait, but do you mean like with family, Marcus? Or are you talking about people in general? People in people outside of my family don't do that.
No.
People in my family don't need to do it either.
I get very, and I will say this, it's a very I think there are some things that I feel like I'm okay with you saying to my kid, and there's some things that I'm not okay with you saying to my kid. And Lola has told me things people have said, like, and it could be my sister, who might have said something to her that might have felt out of the way. Sometimes I'm just like, can you tell? I don't like when they're in a group and the kids are playing and they need to sit down, please tell them I'll go sit down. Like, I get that. But when it's a very pointed personal thing that involves my particular raising style or how I raise my child, and you say something contrary to what I say, I need you to talk to me and then let me address her. But don't talk to her. If you got an issue with something that feels very personal, come to me. Don't talk to her.
But no. But I understand what you're saying. But like I said, everybody's different. See, so for me, I can only talk about my background, right?
Yeah.
So my daddy and my mom are still together. I was raised with two parents, so we was raised in a village, right? My uncles, aunt. We went to the house. We knew we had to respect my uncles and aunts at the house. So, you know, I came from that. So if I come from that, that's just continuously going in our family. And you know, I come from a loving family. We affectionate. We do this. Everybody don't have that. Right?
Yeah.
So how I feel about something, somebody else might feel differently. And it might sound strange to them as me, and listen to them sound strange to me, but guess what? I still gotta respect whatever they, you know, how they move with their kids. And I tell them, hey, you know, I fuss the kids. Don't come to my house, then you're gonna tap my house or mark my house up or do something out the way. And if you don't want your child to come to my house, well, you know, I love you, but they can't come over here. Because I'm not gonna allow no child to talk to me. I'm not gonna point your child out directly and say your child beat me. No, most kids love to come to my house. Why? We have pizza, we watch movies, we do all these great things, right? But I can't do disrespect. Like, you're not gonna talk to me left. I got my daughter, we play and joke all the time, but girl, I will get off of this live right now because she keep calling me right now. That's why I keep getting knocked out. She keep wanting to know where I'm at.
Where you at?
I kind of want a real thin line for me with the disrespect thing, especially because the different generations view certain things as disrespect. That's not actually disrespectful. My youngest daughter, she is very she will speak her mind, and it's not disrespectful, but she speaks her mind. But my mother has a problem with it all the time, and she always feels like oh, she always talking, and I'm like, she can do that. She can express herself.
Yeah, that's generational.
Like, with my mom, my mom always feel like this negative thing towards my daughter.
Because they hold on to that shit.
I was
that they
just about to say when he was saying leave the generational trauma. I feel
that's
like
what he was talking about.
I understand it. I don't 100% agree with it. Everybody likes to call it generational trauma, and right now a lot of parents in our generation is in this I want to gentle parent. But as somebody that works in the healthcare field and just living in Philly, the problem is we got away from those, what we try to classify as traumas were the very things that kept these streets safe, was the very reason we were able to be outside and be children and do those things. Granted, I'm not saying it was all gravy and great, but a lot of those things prevented a lot of the dumb nonsense that we see in these streets today. Prime example, we call it generational trauma when we saying, oh, kids shouldn't talk back, kids shouldn't do this, whooping kids, neighbors being able to beat your kids. Everybody say that's unacceptable now. But to me, that kept kids from what happened at Mount Airy not too long ago. Kids was just in the street beating on people's cars, pulling people out cars, trashing cars that were actually driving past. Guess what? Back in my day, when you knew your neighbor could tear your behind up, you wasn't doing that. You was at the park just playing basketball. You didn't have the audacity to think, oh, just because you in a crowd, it was acceptable for you to jump on a SEPTA bus and smash the windows. What? Ain't no way. You wasn't running around these streets at 1, 2 in the morning, knocking on people's doors or knocking over elderly people,
right?
Because you knew for a fact that if somebody caught you outside, you was gonna catch hell.
But also, I get what you're saying, but doesn't that also speak more so to the parent too? Because why you out at 2 a.m.?
But that's what that comes into the gentle parenting era. That comes into the other people can't tell my kid what to do. Because I feel like some of those parents work overnight.
Right. Well, see,
so you leaving your kid at home, but you giving somebody limitations on how they can parent your kid when they left watching your kid. Right. A lot of people will say, like the person said, I don't care if you my brother, you can't beat on my kid. But if you work an overnight shift and you got to leave your kid at my house, and your kid decide to say he gonna get up and leave, and you said I can't beat him, how I'm keeping your kid in my house?
This is why.
Why you gotta beat the kid to keep him in the house though?
I mean, you don't have to beat them, but if I'm voicing to you, if I'm voicing to your child saying screw you, auntie, I'm out.
Right.
See,
right. Oh, yeah.
That's why I feel like. Go ahead, Kareem. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna say this now, and I'll let you say it. So I'm gonna say this. I going to school, and I had a professor, and she was talking about one of her friends who's a teacher, and they got this one kid that he forever interrupting the classroom, he interrupt other kids, he starts stuff with other kids. So he called the daddy. They called the dad, said, "Hey, can you please come get your son? Can you come talk to him?" He was like, "That ain't my job. He with you."
Oh, that's crazy.
That's
so
wild.
That's what I'm saying. So when you hear that kind of stuff, it's like, where is it coming from? Why do these kids think they can do what they want to do? Is because you have these parents thinking that's your responsibility between them hours. When they come to me, I handle it. No, that's you still the parent.
See,
You still that.
Go ahead, Rick. You right.
Oh no. Go ahead. I'm sorry. That's all I wanted to say. But you know,
I get what you're saying, but to me, and this comes from me, a single parent who, when I moved here, I had to work, and a lot of times my daughter was here by herself. Now, I wish somebody would put their hands on my child while I'm not here. That's just me. That's just me and my parenting. It's the way I raised my kid, and I wish she would get crazy and talk to somebody. Because if you come to me and tell me that Lola said something out of the way to you and was disrespectful or ever did something, it's gonna be a problem. Why? Because she's not crazy. Why? Because she knows I am. So, like, she's not going to be disrespectful. She's not doing anything. She ain't walking up out of nobody's house. Why? Because she's afraid of me. And she knows that I'm not putting up with any of that. So, like, that's why I was like, if you see that there's something that's real serious that I need to address, I understand a certain level of discipline, but there are certain things that I need you to come to me with. Why? Because I'm a very active parent. And I'm an active parent in the way that I knew that there were a lot of things that I couldn't be there for her 24/7, especially with her not having another parent in her life. And I knew there were hours I was going to work late and she was here by herself. But it was me being a disciplinarian. It was me the way I raised her, setting parameters and rules, teaching her about safety and all that stuff, and being a respectful child and staying in her place and all that stuff. I wasn't putting, and also I would say for me and my own parenting style, I do like for Lola to feel a little bit of freedom in who she is. So I'm not like crazy with it, but she knows that she has to respect me and my rules at all times. And that when she leaves this house, she's a representation of me. When she leaves my house, she's representing me as a person. That's my child. So she knows how to act when she goes to other people's houses. And she knows that if I hear that she did something crazy, it's going to be a problem when she gets home.
Well, basically, I'm gonna say this to you. But what about the parents who don't raise their kids, right? But they always have something to say. Like they be the main ones. Those be the main ones. Be like, don't touch my kid, because I know my child. Your child is the more terror. That's the terror,
right?
But you don't want nobody to say.
But it's more of a reflection of the parent more so than I think the society. And I get that, like, people back in the day it was a lot of that, like everybody contributed to the raising of a child back in the day. But I do think that there are a lot of things that are very reflective of who you are as a parent.
Correct. I agree. And I will say I do let my children express their feelings, but it's still limits. We're not gonna get to the point where you're gonna express your feelings when you're being disrespectful for me in the midst of you expressing your feelings. You know what I'm saying? I want you to tell me what's going on. I want you to be open dialogue with me, because I need to know what's going on with you, because how this world is going is crazy.
Right.
Oh, hold on. Marcus has made his way. So there you go. You're
now with him drinking tea. Let's go.
Right. Let's take a sip of your drink.
It's all of y'all having these nice backgrounds, and I'm just showing at the dining room table.
Now I ain't got much to say now. Basic really went there with it, though, with what I was gonna contribute.
Well, no, you say what you got to say as far as that, because it's probably different perspectives at the same time.
No, it's really not. I think that kids are probably the most failed demographic of people. And the ideas that we have around discipline, one, are learned via white supremacy. That is literally where 100%. We get it from. We get 100%. It from slavery. And we've seen countless studies over the decades that using violence against children does not aid them in their development. If you cannot explain, if you can't explain to to a child what it is they're doing that needs to be corrected, why are you hitting them? And it's really that simple. I am a gentle parent. I've never me nor either of I have 2 kids and they have different moms. We've never put our hands on our kids, and we've never had to, because we've always been fully engaged parents.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say that to say that people who aren't there, or people who have kids that that they do find themselves having to discipline in very harsh ways, are failed, because that would be me overlooking socioeconomic dispositions and economic hardship. I know that I am in a privileged position to be able to engage with my kids the way that I do. But we can't ignore, one, the science behind it, the white supremacist roots. And I do think that this whole romanticized idea of your neighbors whooping your kids' asses is something that just needs to be left in the past. People that get beat, like I got beat as a kid. You know what happened? I just got really clever at not getting the punishment.
I would say this.
Yeah.
Everybody's different. I got beat as a kid too. My perspective is not the fact as taking it as a negative way, because I didn't get beat for everything. You know, we didn't go around just beat. No. But I hear what you're saying and I respect what you're saying. But like I said, everybody different. Go ahead.
That's true. Raven made an interesting point. She said sometimes kids choose to do what's popular, not always what's right. That's true.
Yes.
I can say this. I do not expect and have never expected for Lola to be perfect. I do expect for her to know that if she does do something, there is a consequence that's going to happen when she gets to this house. You know what I mean? So I've never thought that because I raised her this way, that she was never going to make a mistake. I've always known that it could happen at any time. But what is important for her to know is that there is going to be a consequence to said action. And that there is not going to be a time where, if I know that she has done something that she shouldn't, that we are not going to address it. And I don't mean like I have to address it with like whooping her, but it's getting addressed.
Yeah.
And she's gonna know that I'm disappointed, and she's gonna know how she is, because I'm also trying to live by example and to give her, like, I want her to know how she knows what she's supposed to do. She knows right from wrong.
Basic.
So if
Can I say
wrong, go ahead.
I want to cut you off, but you know what you just said? Live by example. You got a lot of parents who said, do as I do, don't do what you see. You know what I'm saying?
Do as I say and not as I do.
Not as
Right.
I do.
There you go.
I remember that.
and tell me, how does that work? You sitting here telling me not to be a crackhead, but you a crackhead. You telling me not to drink alcohol, but you an alcoholic. You see what I'm saying?
But they tell you that because they know the consequences of.
I do. But tell me how many. But tell me how. But how many? But you. So I'm gonna give you a prime example. You got 2 kids. One said they don't do crack because my mama did crack. Another one said I did crack because my mama did crack, and both of them are correct.
Yep.
I was about to say, to touch on what Marcus said when he said, like, sir, let me just say, you blessed to have children that you have never had to physically discipline. I have 2 children, and one took the worst parts of me. The other took the 2 playful parts of me. So, in knowing who I am, I wish I could just sit down and have a conversation with my kids, because my kids also did take in part of their other parents. So me, I'm somebody that if you tell me not to do, and it's for good reason, I don't do. But they father? Oh, no. He'll tell you. He's very defiant. If you tell him not to do, he's going to do it. Because who are you to tell him what to do? And that's how he grew up. And that's his characteristic. So me and him always clash a little bit, because he quick on the, well, you got to beat her, because that was the only way I listened. And I'm like, I feel like we should be able to have a conversation. But then certain stuff go down and we go to have a conversation and she shows her ass like her dad. She will shut down and be like, well, I said what I said. I did what I did. I don't care about what you got to say about it.
And that's why I said that I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. I'm just saying, like, that becomes like, woo, as much as I want to gentle parent you, clearly, we not there. Clearly, we need to go into this back room for a few seconds and let you understand who the parent is and who the child is, because
And that's
we
why
allowed you to voice your opinions and your emotions, because I never want to damper that, and I never want to hinder that, because I feel like that's the problem that a lot of people do is minimize children's emotion because they children. So I never want to do it with my kids, but baby, they boisterous like their mother, and whew, it's hard to separate and be like, oh, they just expressing their emotion versus that's really disrespectful.
Hold on real quick before you continue on Marcus. That's Taisha's little sister. My best friend Taisha. That I will. This boy don't remember. Don't worry about it. He don't remember nobody, yo.
Like it was the
He don't remember nobody until he actually see them. And like, oh, okay.
Marcus said, who Taisha? Marcus said, first off, who Taisha? Who is she first?
Yeah.
And see, I would say this. I don't have a problem with a child voicing their opinion, but how you voice your opinion. I tell people it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
How?
So if you come at, you got to remember how you come at me. And what you're telling me. That's all what matters. I want you to tell me what's going on. Talk to me. You know,
but at the same
world
time,
is crazy.
teach them that.
But that's what I said. My kid is my children are products of me, and I've never had the best tone and delivery. Right. I worked through that. I'm 33 and I'm working through that still. In certain situations, my tone and delivery is just very blunt. So like when my kid is angry at something or frustrated and they're expressing it, they express it bluntly, and it's like,
yeah, we ain't doing that.
It's like, who I be wanting to be like, who you talking to? But then I have to also understand, okay, I am the same way. If they needed to get it off their chest, it might not have been in the best tone. We're gonna have to revisit delivery, but
right.
In that split second, I'll be ready to. Ooh.
Yeah, I've my son plays games and stuff, and he gets really upset and stuff at times. And when he does that, I try to have conversations with him, because especially growing up somebody that's going to be socialized as a man, I really want him to learn emotional literacy. So we actually will go through and try to hash out what it like, because saying that you're mad is blunt. That is the most basic form of that emotion, but it can go, you can break it down to disappointment, frustration, and stuff like that. Like there's so many different tools that we can use as parents to help like guide our kids and through really learning emotional literacy. And so to come back to something I was gonna say before, like I have to recognize that I do have socioeconomic privileges that allow me to be so engaged with my kids. Like I work third shift, and there are other parents work during the day. So during the day, I would be with the kids when they were, when they were really small. My daughter's 15 now. My son just turned 8. But like I remember one time my daughter was writing on the walls, and when we caught it, she was like 4 years old. When we caught it, I didn't blow up. I didn't get upset because I never told her, I had never seen that, but I never told her that wasn't something that she was not supposed to do. But what I did was, I did explain to her, yeah, we don't do this, but since you do like to draw, we went out and bought coloring books, bought notepads and stuff that day. And right now she's a fantastic artist. This was like over 10 years ago. Like, so we were able to channel it. It's really about catching these behaviors and stuff really early and doing like really small, slight corrections, because no exaggerated form of any behavior comes out of nowhere. It's always something that starts extremely small, and then it's enabled, and then it's reinforced, and it compiles over time. And then before you know it, which is why I made the comment, I don't know if I'm not sure if Mike put it up, that like if somebody is blindsided by their child's behavior, chances are they weren't paying attention for a long time. There's something that was either missed, and it's not a judgment on moral character. Because one, we live in a capitalist hellscape. People are under a lot of pressure. Most houses do not have single person income. Most parents are both out working. If there are two parents in the household, there's a lot of stresses. So me saying that a person's not paying attention is not an attack on moral character or their ability to parent. I recognize that.
It's just the reality of life.
So, yeah, it's hard out here, and I get that.
I was about to say
that earlier, Mark. I wanted to say that earlier, real quick, Caprina. I did want to say that. That's what I wanted to say about like that particular situation is a lot of us will look at it and see the things that our parents did to us, and we just do the same thing back to them. And I don't do the same thing, but people do the same thing back to their child because it's a learned behavior. It's something that I've told people before, like, yo, everything is a form of slavery. It's the same exact thing that people in the past did to us. That's what they called us, keeping us in line. You know what I mean? Keeping us in line and doing what they wanted us to do. But the active parents, and this is one of the things me and him has had conversations about when it comes to kids being on the street late and all this other stuff, because the parents can't be active with their children because they working or they're doing something that just enables them to be around their children. So I'm very active, right? I'm active with my daughter. I've always been extremely active with my daughter. There's times where my daughter was a baby and she was young, and people would tell me, "No, you gotta, let her chill, let her do this. You gotta," because they were trying to tell me how I was doing things, and I'm like, "No, this is just what I do with her." And my activism in her life has made her who she is now. She's extremely active as a kid. Like even now, when it comes to dating other people and stuff like having people that I date in my life, Gabby's very easy for me. She don't give nobody problems. Whoever she's met in my life, she's never given them a problem. She's always been one of the easiest kids to get along with, easy to deal with because of just how me and her were. Her mom probably the same. Her mom was very active with her too. She has a lot of active pieces around her that was, and then when she was wrong, people told her when she was wrong. They weren't putting their hands on her. I've asked them. I said, "Listen, I've talked to grandfather, talked to them. Can y'all not put your hands on my child when y'all with her? Because one thing I don't want, some kids will hide when they're getting, when people are doing things to them or whatever the case is. And that's one of my biggest fears when it came to my daughter was somebody hiding, putting their hands on my daughter and she not telling me. Like, I just asking you not do that because I don't hit her. I have no reason to hit her because what am I hitting her for? She does nothing she tries it, but it's like, that still don't make me want to do that. All I do, my voice is enough to make her be like, all right, Dad, I'm sorry. Like after a while, she know not to do particular things. So I'm just saying that's how it is. And I know everybody else is, have their way of doing it. This is not a judgment to people that parent a certain way. This is only really just kind of sitting back saying, we don't have to be our parents. You really don't. You do it your way. If you've been doing it your way and it's been working well and everything like that, continue to do it that way. If they're great kids, if they're everything, but also check in on your kids. I think people always say check in on your relationships. Check in on them kids. Those are the ones that need to. Anybody would tell you, every time I would sit there and I'll stare at Gabby and I'll just go, "Are you good, Gabby? Is everything going?" And she'll go, "Yeah." She'll feel weirded out by it. And I'm like, I don't feel weirded out. We just having a conversation. I just want to know. I keep doing that until she starts revealing little by little to me. So
that's currently the stage I'm in with Joy.
Right.
She shuts down and just nothing. I don't know. Nothing. I don't know.
That's that growing up too.
No, it's not.
Right.
Turn the light off up here. Don't play with the light.
So I'm gonna use my example of checking it. Right, checking in on your kids. So when I went through my divorce, my biggest thing was to make sure, because I know how divorce can affect children, correct? One of the biggest things I did was every day, as soon as I come home, whatever we do in the morning, we're going to sit together. We're going to get at that dinner table, tell me, is everything okay? Is there a problem? No, whatever we going through, me and your daddy got nothing to do with y'all. I stress that to the point now my kids are awesome. But like I said, am I that mama that I don't play? I don't play. But I do have open door where they can come and talk to me because I know how I was as a child. When you needed that parent to sit down and talk to about something, you need that door to be open. Like I can promise that my mama's favorite word was don't have sex, don't have sex. My dad don't have sex. But they never told me why. Right? Great example. Don't do it, but not why. So I was that parent that I tell them why they don't do it. This is why you don't do it. I show them pictures. This is what happens if you choose to do this. My boys,
I ain't taking care of that little. I'm playing good.
Right? No. But the funny part, my sons are so weirded out because it was so funny. They was like, my mama talking to me about stuff. Yeah. talk. I agree in so many levels, but like I said, you always gonna have that one, and that's for me. I'm like, hey, I got that one. I'm sorry.
No limit soldier. No limit soldier.
That's my daughter. I'm sorry.
Mine's is both of mine, but my daughter, she like Mike said, she try, but then she quick to be, you know what? My bad.
Right.
I understand.
Let me chill out.
But the little boy y'all just seen in the camera,
there's always some little boys. They just, and then the craziest, the
no
best
limit soldier. Too many people told him he handsome, so he smile at everything and think that gets me wet.
But you also got to stop them from being little jungle cats. Then like it's not the
what?
This boy right here, his son. Every time he get around this ball, he'll do a front flip on me quick, or what's that? But then he'll sit on me, he'll squat on me. But it's almost like he treats me the same way he treats his father. Because if anything, I'm a close person. I'm a close person, so he sees the same things that he sees in his father. I'll never be him, but it's like he treats me similar to his father, and I can see that because of how he plays. It reminds me of how I treat my daughter. I just let her be the free spirit that she is, and like, yo, go have fun, go experience life. She experienced her first injury in basketball after I have a conversation with her about how she probably can hurt her ankle. 2 days later, she hurt her damn ankle. So it happens. It's like it just, that's when you really sit back and everything that you have going on in our life. And Basic and Mel, I want y'all to be able to speak. Everything that you do in your life is just an example to teach on to the kids. What's up, Tori? Teach on to the kids and let them experience life, but let them experience a life where you're protecting. As long as you're protecting them from the shit that you know is wrong, and they're going to be fine. It's like, yeah, they're going to challenge, but they're doing everything that makes you who you are. You know what I mean? Because they learn how to be human beings. They learn how to be this. You know, only thing you can do is just show them, yo, this is the reasons why you don't do these things. This is why is that. This is why is that. And then when if they don't want to really listen, sometimes they got to experience some shit, because that's a character development, as they say. You know what I mean? Listen, it's character development. That's the hardest part, is when you don't listen.
Yeah, but I wish
like, why would I put my hand on your ass when you're going to put your hand on your own ass in a little bit? Like, you're going to be looking crazy in a little bit because you're about to do exactly what I told you not to do.
All right.
That's what it is. They just they just grow. It's character. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Were you about to say something, Mel?
Mel ain't got nothing to do with that. She's like, no, I'm good over here. I'm straight over here.
I always say, teach your kids ethics and teach your kids to not stop questioning things. Those are probably the two.
But before just teaching your kids ethics, make sure you understand real life ethics. Because don't be out here teaching your kids the wrong ethics. Now they running into real life issues and unaware of how things actually work.
Well, good. Go ahead, Basic. What you got?
I didn't have anything to add to this particular.
All right, that's cool. That's cool. I see.
I didn't have anything to add to this specifically.
All right, so I know everybody didn't get a chance to necessarily say something about just as far as the dating, but like for the women who's been married and had children, how was that, like, dealing with that, and like y'all being married and, you know, raising the kids and everything? Like, what was that experience like for you?
Get your hair wrapped up.
I didn't like it.
In what context, Mike? What do you mean?
Just like your experiences with your partner, or maybe if you were married to to their actual father. Sometimes people even can have the actual father in their life and still don't want particular things to happen or whatever. Like,
with the children,
they still have rules. Yeah, with the children that you got, like, they still, like, it's people who have fight over men yelling at kids still, regardless if they was the father or not, just yelling at them, whatever the case is. And, you know, especially if it was like everybody knows, like, when it comes to men and women, you know, treating a certain thing, especially if they grow up and they gotta look at men. Do you want the example of a man always yelling at a woman, always talking to him a certain way? Like, do you want that as the example? Like, some people will step up and say, hey, can you try not to yell and do all this other stuff in front of her, or yell at her like she's nothing? Like, explain to her, talk to her. Like, some people don't do that.
I don't know.
Your question still sounds mad vague.
I thought it was me. I was just waiting for some more information.
Are you trying to say, like, Well, you said for the people who've been married. So I've been married. I was married at a young age. There's no amount of preparation to prepare for how somebody's going to act with having a child. Have as many conversations as you want. I love when people say that. But when your parenting styles don't match and you're married, that's horrible. It's not a good experience because for me, I'm not like other women. I would never choose a man over my child. So I'm gonna choose my kid every time, and I go to war behind my babies. So it wasn't a good experience for me, but marriage wasn't a good experience for me either. So
okay,
maybe somebody who was married and enjoyed it say something.
Sorry,
Caprina,
I
I
can't
think she may
speak
be the
on
only one.
that.
Yeah.
Nope, never been married.
Yeah, Caprina, the only one who's in, and Marcus.
I
was. What was the question? I'm sorry. I'm dealing with this child. I'm trying to multitask. What you asking? I'm sorry.
No, just when it came to you being co-parenting and dealing with your
What's your
children.
experience on co-parenting?
Okay, so co-parenting and as far as our kids, we're good with that. You know, he don't allow the kids to disrespect me. I don't allow the kids to disrespect him. Whatever kids need, we on the same page. As far as one of the biggest things, I never talk negative about their father because I always felt like this: if a parent or a woman or a mother, father, if they sorry, the kids will know. You ain't got to tell them they're sorry, right? So for us, what works for us is the fact we realize that just because me and you didn't work, don't mean you're not going to be a good parent. And I'm not going to take that away from my children because my children love their father just like they love me. So for us, I don't have them issues. And by me being a child support caseworker, it makes my butt itch. Listen to some of the stories that I hear about the co-parenting and the back and forth, because a lot of it stems from emotional attachment with the both parents. Has nothing to do with the child. It's basically between the two parents who don't like each other or they're mad because they broke up, however the case may be. And they're using the child as a crutch on both ends, the father and the mother. So for me, I don't have issues with the co-parenting.
Did you guys always, even when you were together, did you guys agree on like how you would parent?
Yes, and I'm gonna tell you why, because I came from a household where we couldn't go to daddy and ask daddy a question. Daddy said go ask mama because we already know what that means. No, already, but we gonna still ask mama anyway because mama gonna be like, what daddy say? No. So with us, it was the same way. We didn't let the kids ping off us. We didn't let the kids go to one parent and play with us and then go say, oh, daddy said yes and be lying. No, I go, well, I know your daddy didn't say yes.
Right.
So when it comes to that, as far as that part, we was good. Now, relationship wise, that's another topic down the road, child. We ain't even going there. But as parenting wise, I can truly say that we didn't have that issue as far as being parents. We was there. And that goes to part of too. That's why I like dating men with kids for me, because I like to watch how you treat your kids. That's for me. Now everybody's different. I watch how you treat your kids. Will determine if I want that around my kids.
What about, do you guys ever evaluate how they co-parent? Like,
I do, and if I do, sometimes that would if I see how the daddy or the mama how they, and I would ask them like, y'all always go back and forth like this, that y'all know? You know, like what? I mean, if y'all just talk about the kids, why y'all arguing? Like, what's the argument about? You know what I'm saying? If y'all really come, if it's about the kids, what you arguing about? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I had a relationship end not because of I didn't end the relationship, but our relationship did not work out because of the co-parenting situation between the person that I was dating and his ex. He had two exes that he had children with. One of them, it was fine. The other one, because they were already having issues, when she found out that he was dating someone new, me, then their co-parenting got even worse. It was withholding the child from him, where he wasn't allowed to see her as much. It was like using what was already a bad situation, and it became like more of a weapon.
Right. And I feel like that's a form of control.
Right. Because animosity about him being in a new relationship, even though I had never met her, I had never met his daughter, like none of that had ever happened. But it was, they were already having issues co-parenting with one another, probably because of residual feelings or whatever. So when a new person stepped in, then it became, I'm using your relationship with your child and keeping her from you and using it as a weapon. And so then for him, it was a struggle. And because of that, of course, he chose his child over me. I completely understood it. Like, he was trying to make it an easier situation where he wasn't always in a struggle to see his daughter.
I am on the opposite end of that, where it's portrayed that I would play that way. I don't play that way. I don't understand when women do that, because one of the things that a lot of my friends say to me, and it's funny that you were saying you work as a child support counselor. One thing everybody always said to me through all the bad that has happened between me and my child's father, I never will take him to child support. That's just not. I never talk bad about him in front of my children, because he's a great father to them. He's just very toxic and disrespectful to me. We established that. So co-parenting has been tough. It's getting somewhat better, but he's somebody that is now, he's engaged, and me and his spouse, we don't acknowledge each other. There was personal bad things that happened amongst there, but he's portrayed to family that if I'm upset with him, I will withhold the kids, when for him he likes to play that game so that he can go and not have to deal with his responsibility. So if he tells everybody I'm holding them when I'm not, it's like, cool. It makes it acceptable for him to go weeks and take trips and do whatever he wants, because, oh, she said I couldn't have the kids. I will
Anybody that believes that,
girl, you should have dropped the baby off at the cruise ship with the kids. Like, all right, y'all go on the cruise too, y'all. Love y'all. Bye. Mama got to do her time too. Now I got time for all that. Y'all enjoy y'all trip. All right, I'm out.
I'll be on my cruise in 2 weeks.
I used to allow his wordage to dictate my mood, but now I've been on a journey itself, and now I no longer do that. So when he's portraying us to people, and they message me from time to time, you know what I do? I pack them damn kids up and drop them off.
Bet you better
go ahead and take them. Sure wasn't holding them. I went as far as getting my daughter her own phone so she could call when she want to see her dad. Now you tell her no. You tell her I'm holding her. You handle that. Now we don't have that issue no more, because now she calling you.
Let me tell you something. I'm big on that. Mama got a life too. I don't understand why people think mama want to sit here and have these goddamn. Let me tell you something. God dang, come get your goddamn kids. All right. I ain't had these kids by myself. All right. I ain't playing it. No, and I tell people, these are my rules. If daddy ain't a crackhead, an alcoholic, an abuser, and I mean abuser, I mean as far as like locking your kids in the closet and not feeding them or tying up to a tree. If your dad ain't doing none of them things, why he can't go to the parent? Why? Some things y'all gonna have to just sit down and be adults about and talk about it. Some things you should be able to compromise somewhere down the line where you can, because so for me, and I know everybody don't feel the same, I feel like children need both parents. And that's me. Because how I was raised, everybody wasn't raised like that. But for me, I do believe you need the father figure. You do need the mother figure there for your kids, for me. And so my kids have both. I don't play that. I just don't. He'd be like, we to the point where if he need to switch weekends, I'm like, that's fine. So that means you're gonna do back to back. Yeah, I can do back to back. I already know. Next 2 weekends, mama gonna be
showing that
ass. Okay.
I learned to stop making set plans, because
your mama on TikTok. Oh my
when
God.
this started, what happened?
Hey, that's why my name Caprona, not my real name, so they won't find out who their mom is.
Right? I learned to stop playing that game, because we had a situation where this one I realized how true it was to the portrayal of how he was portraying me. Kids wanted to go over there. He had the kids. He had made plans to go do whatever. Nobody ever communicated that with me. I was just chilling in the house. You know, they showed up, dropped my kids off on the step and pulled off. I said, the fuck?
I know you lying. I know you.
I said, what the? Oh, wow. Okay. Those are games we play. Okay. So, yeah, that was one and done. Now, I don't play them games.
Hey, look.
No, because you need to don't do that. If you communicate to me, hey, I'm busy this weekend, but can we switch weekends? Talk to me. Y'all finna realize the argument back and forth a lot of time is deeper than just the kids. It's something else going on. That's your personal feelings. If you don't like him, he don't like her. And I had to learn, just like hey, I had to learn emotionally not to allow him to trigger me because I knew he would say something to make me mad, and then he can't get them kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, And then I had to learn, oh no, he's trying to trigger me so he can't get these kids. I'm cool. I'm like, oh, okay, next weekend, that's fine. We ain't doing this, Bo. You ain't about to play with me because I got plans. So we about to play with me. But I had to learn it. So I agree with you. Yeah, they want to make the mama look the bad guy, but you got to remember, you got some daddies out who really do want to be in the children's life, and sometimes
and moms be out here tripping.
Ooh.
Call a spade. Shorty be tripping, doing extra.
When I tell you, as a caseworker, I ain't trying to be funny. Right, and I ain't trying to be funny, but at times I'd rather deal with the daddy than the mama. And they can chop my head off about all you want to. I don't get too rat tails, but I sit and listen to these conversations. Okay, and one of my favorite lines I say, child support don't have a billboard or any flyers. So that means you walked in here to ask me these questions, man.
Exactly.
Okay, so don't come cussing me out as if I laid you on your back and spread you wide open. All right,
exactly, and be.
I didn't do that. It wasn't me.
I guess so. We have to end the rush show right now. This John is definitely going over. Basic, you got anything you want to throw in there? You good?
No, I'm good.
All right, we good. We done for the show.
Yes.
I enjoyed this conversation.
I enjoyed it. Thank y'all so much for inviting me.
I'll be back when y'all ain't hitting home.
We ain't hitting home.
Yeah, when you ain't got me in here ready to go for 3 hours talking about the nonsense.
Nah, we're gonna pick something. I mean, it's I don't know if it's
Hold
gonna be
on.
some freak stuff next week.
What was you gonna ask me in the beginning of the show?
Oh, your
It's one of them Caprina based questions. That's what it was.
What? What question? What question?
Go ahead. I'll let Lee ask.
Oh, it was. We were talking about. Have you ever had a sexual experience that was that made you end the relationship?
Well, I did have somebody who called me by the wrong name, and that just did it for me because I'm like, you've been knowing me too long. My name is Sabrina. Where you get Sabrina from? You know what I'm saying? I know I can put it on somebody sometimes, and maybe it made him forget that I was Caprina and he called me Sabrina. But after that,
at least
it was
he was in
a wrap.
the ballpark.
Yo, wait a minute!
Like it's not like he was like Catherine or.
So I'm gonna tell you why it was a trigger for me. That's all. Just need to know that it was a trigger. It was a trigger. That's all.
Yeah.
But yeah, he be gone. He gone. And then I got rid of somebody else who kept crying, like begging. Don't beg for me. Like you ain't gotta beg for me. If I like you, you ain't gotta do all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, chill.
See, this is why you gotta have
Good night,
ask questions about kinks. Like if you into that. Crying.
I don't know. I've ghosted. I ghost people. I block you. If it's that bad, I
oh yeah.
No, don't talk about a relationship. We ain't talking about no regular whole.
No, I will block you.
Wow.
You.
I'm gonna send you a nice
like
but no, and then
so bad that you ended the relationship.
A relationship?
Yo, Mel is killing me. I don't know why Mel. I keep muting because I'm screaming because she's like, oh no. I was like, oh Lord.
Whose sister that is?
I mean, because a relationship I've had.
Taisha.
From the pool?
Yes.
Oh shit!
That's her little sister that used to get in the pool with us all the time.
Not him just figuring it out.
I told you he got like an old ass man. He sat there for 15 minutes. Just
Not him.
Yes.
It took him the whole show to figure out who
the whole show.
I'm done.
It took him to hear that I block people out relationships. To ding ding ding. Yeah, that's that girl. For real.
Yeah,
I mean, I ain't seen you in like 17 years, so
this is true. Now, don't be making me extra old. I already admitted age.
You feel old. 17 years ago, I was an adult. Like,
oh my god.
Thanks.
That's very funny. Yo, y'all funny as shit. But yes, that's true.
Well, gosh darn, Mike, I enjoyed the show.
Gosh darn
I
it, Mike.
know.
This was a good one.
Kudos to you.
Mike, this was a good show.
Kudos and shakaracks to you. Okay.
I'm so sad I was cooking for the first hour.
By golly, Mike, this was a good one. We did a good one.
Ain't no y'all gonna keep doing this, yo. And look,
Billy
how
D.
nonchalant he just sitting there right now, like he just started a fire. Now this is all on me now to just deal with the shit.
Oh, man.
This is bananas.
Right.
All right, I'm about to end this fucking show right now.
Things went haywire.
Shimmery timbers. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my Lord.
He's like, Jesus Christ, what are you doing to me?
Yo, I had to mute because I almost screamed out loud. My God.
Yo, you was getting flamed in them comments.
Yo, I really was.
Up.
I was getting destroyed. You know what
got
made it?
Screenshots. I'm
It's
gonna edit.
how.
I'm making edit.
Wow, that's crazy. It's basic. She laughed the whole time with tears in her eyes.
It was so funny because when he said it, like automatically my head went to like all of the corny things that you could have possibly said, and then for everybody to just put it in the comments, done.
And not only that, but you know how tall he is. And imagine standing to the guy talking, listen here, buddy.
Right.
What you're not gonna do is
here,
disrespect him, okay? What you're not gonna do is be disrespectful to my lady, okay?
This is getting out of hand.
Looky here, pal.
I'm not gonna put up with this forever.
That cut the malarkey shit had me fucking rolling.
Cut the malarkey. You're joshing me.
Oh God.
I don't give a rat's ass.
Mike, when you said it, did you tuck your lip in? Because they say, you know, when white people get mad, they tuck their lip in.
The tight lip, the tight.
Yes, she did, Tori. She said, do I do the tight lip?
The tight lip. We were like, fine, golly, buddy.
What? Tight lip.
Oh my God.
Hold up, no. Tight lip. What is that?
You know when you be like, by golly.
Right there, what Kay doing? Like, wait a minute, buddy, and then you put your lips in.
That's how you know they mean business. When they look get tight, you know they mean business.
What the fuck?
When the lip tight, you know they mean business.
I'm about to say the lip get tight and they get this point.
Right.
He's about to hit him with
when you go back in this house, guys,
you
better talk to her right.
It's always this little thumb thing
right.
going on.
Right.
What the fuck? Yo?
Right.
Man, that shit got me crying, yo.
Acceptable.
Oh my God, my face hurt, yo. Oh shit. She said, buddy, if you don't anybody who starts something off with buddy is definitely about to be some white shit.
It's about to pop off. You hear me?
Oh shit.
Listen here, pal. Buddy, don't you ever talk to me like that.
About food.
It's a meme out here that says it's the equivalent of cussing somebody out. It's when they started off a certain way. What was the word again? It was like buddy or something like listen here, buddy.
Listen here, pal.
Looky here, pal.
Yeah, I'm about to say looky here.
Yeah. We should do a whole show on white people lingo, but no, I'm playing.
Oh, yo, my God. Where I work at, I'll be dead.
Hold up. Prina. Can we throw a bonus question in here?
You whoever Chris is, I'm right there. Lint liquor.
Caprina.
What was your question? Yeah.
Ask the question that you so dearly needed somebody to answer.
Can I ask? Okay. So on IG, y'all, I saw where this lady asked the question and she said, if your man had a little package, would you let him put on a strap on to please you?
Yeah. Whoa. When you talk about Stormy had a lot of that they now have this thing that they can, it's like what she call it? An extendo.
Yeah, I was about to say, why not?
Yeah.
Extendo clip. That's my friend podcast, baby. Hilarious.
Yeah. She said, and some people was like, I asked Mike, and
moon.
Mike was like, no, you know,
I
of
just
course,
don't want
Mike.
none of my. That's period.
Ain't nobody talking about you
no,
getting pegged.
No,
It's
no,
about
no.
No.
They know you insert
Wait, time
yourself
out.
into.
Caprina didn't say the other part. You know it was a part 2 to that, but all right.
Okay. Yeah. So the part 2 was, what if you let your woman put it on and bend you over?
Okay, now
What?
Always.
I mean, if he
See,
really
I'm a
wanted
freak.
that, I would try it.
Marty
All right.
said, "Look."
It's probably a lot of work though.
I'm telling you, probably because you know most men cheeks, you got to spread wide open. They got the extra cheek back there. They ain't like women.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying, my bad. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and take me out the box now. Go ahead.
No, it's fine.
I'm not a part of that life. Mm-mm.
Why not? You gonna hit your kids? You could do that.
God
Nah.
damn!
Oh my God.
My God.
Oh my God. Okay, yeah. Let me
Hey, Mel,
yeah.
He said, I'm head out. She the SpongeBob me.
Right,
Yo,
right.
that shot from the hip.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I'm too. Oh my God, it's screaming.
No,
Okay.
I don't know. That just nope.
For me, if I'm able to bend my man over, I'm gonna tell you right now. We have an argument. I'm like, that's why I bend your ass over, like you know what I'm saying. Yo,
See,
that's
why I can't be about that life. Because
that ain't
this
enough.
be
You gotta hit me
reckless.
harder.
He got one time to say I got a big ass forehead. I'm
that
be
ain't
talking
nothing.
about how he got bent up.
I'm gonna say you how that you was screaming when I had you bent over. You was taking it. Oh, bro. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know.
That's not right.
You said that's not right. Well, it probably wouldn't be right
Ain't
if
nobody
he said
bending
something
me
mean
over.
to me. That's the only comeback I got.
So you doing the bending? She's like,
That's the only.
When I say I'm weak, I am so weak right now. I am so weak. Oh, I mean, you know, you don't tell me what's gonna come out my petty mouth. Yeah. It's time to go because I'm gonna
let's
laugh.
get off
Oh
here.
yeah.
Caprina, you probably be live tomorrow. I'll slide through.
Yeah, I think I will.
No, you
Tomorrow's
doing your red
Tuesday.
light? You doing your red light district, or you good tonight?
Oh, you want me to go live?
Yeah.
I'll go live.
You know how Mel do. She get on it.
Yeah. Man.
I was about to say, just tag me in. If y'all gonna be talking about this type of topics, tag me in. I got lots of stories.
All right, we're gonna make it nice and fun for y'all next week. But shouts out to everybody that joined. Thank y'all for coming through.
Oh, thank you.
I finally got
Thank
you.
you.
A whole big ass crew.
I know. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank y'all.
It's a 6-pack minus 2 people without their cameras on. What we going? You know.
Whoa, I'll put it on next time. I'm sorry, y'all.
I promise you, it's gonna cash up, and I'm like, yo, at least just 15 minutes, please. It sounds nasty, but it's not like meant to be that way.
Wait a minute, we cash up for FaceTime. Wait a minute.
So hold on, let it get together. Let's get it together.
Hey,
yo, that laugh. That sounds like you're trying to rip a plastic bag.
Look, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm trying not to laugh like I'm a loud laugher, y'all. I'm trying to tame her. I don't want to holler in y'all ears, so I'm constantly making the little noise. I'm sorry.
Yo, Mark, her lives, they be snapping in her lives, yo. I be like, yo, they be tripping.
Oh God.
Especially when you come up in there. All right, I'm out, yo. We out of here.
Yeah, she go live. Y'all add me in.
I got you.
I got you.